Now, Betty, what are we going to do tonight?
I'm gonna kick some ass!
Welcome to Chicago, where the fire serve cold, but the Wolves and the Hawks never shiver in the snow. The Bulls keep it running, the Sox run the South, the Cubs run the North, but the Bears run the house. True Chicago sports fans got their ears to the street. Any team make a move, and they never skip a beat. And in this house, this is where we be. Welcome to the show with E-Rock and Big Z.
Welcome to Chicago. Coming from the True Chicago Sports Fan Cave, this is the TCSF podcast with E-Rock and Big Z.
Yes, sir.
Episode 83 is brought to you by 606 Media, True Chicago Sports Fans, ACSI, and Grit Clothing Company. Don't forget to go to gritclothingco.com and get your official TCSF podcast t-shirts. Search for keyword True Chicago and use our promo code TrueFan15 for 15% off your entire order. That is TrueFan15. Go and get your official TCSF shirts now.
Let's go.
As always, I am Big Z, and I'm here with my boy, E-Rock. What up, E?
What's up, Z? What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the show. If you are a first-timer or a long-timer, please remember to hit that subscribe button, that notify button, and go ahead and give us a review on your listening app of choice. You can find us on Facebook at True Chicago Fans. You can follow us on Twitter at True Chi Fans, at True CHI Fans, and on Instagram at True Chicago Sports Fans. Don't forget, you can support the show with a monthly subscription at anchor.fm/True Chicago Sports Fans. Go on over there and click on support, and you can subscribe to the show for as low as 99 cents a month. Hey, do you like the show? Are you a fan? Yeah. Tell your friends, and they will tell their friends, and we can all be friends. Ladies and gentlemen, the new year is here, and maybe you need a fresh start, so let me tell you about a great opportunity with our friends over at ACSI. With over 50 expert technicians in the Chicagoland area, ACSI offers a one-stop shop for telecom wiring, whether residential cable installation, fiber to the home, or commercial structured cable wiring. ACSI is a proud partner of both Comcast and Astound, powered by RCN. Fan, let me tell you the most impressive thing about ACSI. The ACSI crew did their thing during the COVID-19 pandemic, and ACSI was awarded Hasia's 2020 Contractor of the Year award. The best part is that ACSI is growing bigger and better than ever. ACSI is now hiring for field sales, technicians, and project managers. Check out ACSI.tech. That's ACSI.tech, and click on careers to apply today. ACSI is an equal opportunity employer.
Go get you a job.
Speaking of ACSI, today's guest host is none other than Daniel Abrego, owner of ACSI. Welcome to the show, brother.
Well, gentlemen, what's going on?
Hey, man. Hey, it's been a long time, but we finally got you in the studio, man. What do you think? How do you like the vibe in here?
Yeah, I'm loving it, man. You guys are, oh man, what can I say? Professionals at its finest.
So, Danny, look, I'm going to call you Danny because I've known you since forever and ever, right?
Yes, sir.
Bro, what's new with 2022 with y'all?
So we're looking for a lot of opportunities to offer here in the next year. We're extremely busy, and I appreciate what you guys been doing for me, for the whole year. Great job. There has been some leads thanks to you guys, yeah. And appreciate the following. So we have plenty of opportunity. You can go to www.acsi.tech and find out more. And throughout the show, we can kind of talk and lead into more of the opportunities that we offer. But sky's the limit, buddies. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. Don't forget, check out acsi.tech. Click on careers, go get you a job, and check it out. Z, brother, how are you doing, man? How was your week?
I'm doing great, man. I didn't have to shovel that much. Just 12 inches. That's what she said.
Hey.
As usual, bowling on Tuesdays. We get another W. I bowled very well again. I'm back on track.
Don't break your neck.
I'm not breaking I might break the other hip though. Tons of stuff I was able to watch: sports, movies, talk to you guys on the page. Lots of back and forth on the chatter.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been going back and forth on Messenger. It's been a busy week when it comes to sports. But other than that, I really have just been kind of chill. It's been nice, man.
You know, it's been a very lovely week of cold toes and snow and ice and snow and cold and snow and ice. I mean, that's kind of what this week has summed up to. I mean,
Jesus, Game of Thrones over here. Winter's coming.
Winter is here, baby. You know what? You know what I'm hoping? I can't. We'll go really in depth in baseball soon, but I tell you what, man, I look forward to baseball because I think about that becoming the beginning of spring, the snow, all the ice starting to break up, and I can't wait for it, man. Yeah, so I mean, dude, so cold outside. I mean, even coming home and shoveling up a little bit of snow, and I'm just out there for 4 minutes, and the kids are having a blast, and I'm just in there freezing, and I'm like, it's time to go outside. But hey, we had some productive meeting this week, you know, talking to a couple of potential business partners and see where we want to go with the show and do some big things, man. And that's what we got.
Like Danny said, man, the sky's the limit, man. Sky's the limit.
Let's do work, boys. Let's do work.
Yeah, man. Anyway, look, this week we got a lot to talk. So this week in the bottom line, we're going to be talking about Super Bowl 56, gentlemen, Rams and the Bengals. Like,
nice.
What kind of
The Bengals.
Where in your mind did you ever see Matt Stafford making a Super Bowl? And when Matt Stafford makes the Super Bowl going up against the Cincinnati Bengals, these are two dudes that have been on trash teams forever. I don't know how this happened, but it happened.
I mean, this is the closest as Eminem's going to get into a Super Bowl because
Oh, wow.
he's from Detroit, you know?
No, this is the closest Detroit's going to get a Super Bowl
Because
they got Matt Stafford.
there you go.
and
That's
Eminem's
what
gonna
I
be
meant
there.
to.
There it
That's
is.
what I meant to
Hey,
say.
I'm a fixer. I'm a fixer.
You are. You're a
I gotta-
technician. You're a technician. And when it comes to the Bengals, you think of the band. You don't think of the NFL
The
team.
Bengals. No, you know what's funny? You know what I think about? I think about the fact that Joe Burrow was on LSU, the LSU Tigers, who are also known as, like I said, the Bayou Bengals. So now, guess what? 2 years later, you're back on playing on the NFL Bengals. So it'll be interesting to talk a little bit about the Super Bowl and, of course, stirring the pot and what you looking at. But first, this is the Big Three with Big Z.
Thanks, E-Rock. I'm Big Z, and you're not. Now for today's stories. Story number 1. Jim Harbaugh. What is going on? Jim Harbaugh reportedly will remain at Michigan as the head coach after the Vikings interview. This is nuts. Jim Harbaugh is staying at his alma mater. According to ESPN's Adam Schefter, Harbaugh was informed Michigan on Wednesday after interviewing with Minnesota for the head coaching job that he would be returning to the school for the 2022 season. The Wolverines were reportedly elated to retain the coach. Jim Harbaugh told Ward Manuel that this would not be a reoccurring issue and that he would stay at Michigan as long as it wants him. This is per the sources. So, what is going on, man? You're the college football expert on the show. What the hell's going on, man?
So here's the thing. There was a lot of people upset that the Bears did not go after Jim Harbaugh, and a lot of people assumed,
Not me.
A lot of people assumed that he was going to be the next Minnesota Vikings head coach. Well, it's not to be, and now he's going back to the Michigan Wolverines to go and do things like lose to Ohio State every year except once, and not make the playoffs except once, and then everyone to praise this guy.
And I get an actual quarterback for the team because he hasn't got a good quarterback for his team forever.
And so it doesn't surprise me that he did not get an NFL job, because the reason why the reports, the reason why he did not come to the Bears is because he's looking for a John Gruden, $100 million for
Bill
10
Belichick,
years.
yeah.
He wants one of these crazy ass deals. He wants to be he wants to be the GM. He wants to be the coach. He wants to be the judge, jury, and executioner for his whole team. And it's not going to happen. I don't know where Jim Harbaugh thinks that he's going to have so much faith in his coaching ability. And people on the radio kept saying, well, he's a proven winner because look at what he did here and look what he did. Okay.
But he burns out. We talked about that.
He burns out after like 3-4 seasons in any location.
Right.
And you as a leader, you cannot do that. Now you think about what the Bears did when they had Cutler, and they kept switching the
OC.
All you're doing, you keep switching it and switching it. guess what? Jim Harbaugh not going to stay there that long.
Nope.
As a leader of men, how can you possibly expect that they're going to sit there and follow you if you know that you're going to be the one that's going to stick in everyone's craw and you're going to be out the door in a couple of weeks?
It's all about team, and if they don't respect the coach, man, what they're going to do, right? I mean, the guy, he wants full power. You can tell he's a control freak, I think, right? And that's just kind of not today's day. It's not going to fly, I don't think.
No, that's what happened. He went over there to Minnesota. He's like, hey, this is what I want. I want a 10-year deal. I want to be the GM, player personnel,
Yep.
whatever that position is, because every team has a different name for it. And I want to coach, and I want to be on the McDonald's commercial as well. He wants everything.
He wants Matt Nagy's commercial.
He wants Matt Nagy's commercial, since Matt Nagy's going to go up to Detroit.
He's a fried cook.
So as a coach right now, who has that perk right now? Like full control. I know in
Belichick.
Belichick has full control like that right now.
Belichick.
There's a GM.
So you got Belichick, who is the GM and the coach.
Sure.
And the one other one that's very kind of it's out there, but it's not, is going to be Shanahan in San Francisco,
right.
Because John Lynch, who is their GM, the former defensive player for the Bucs for so long, he is kind of a figurehead. He was the one that got a lot of credit when the Bears moved up one spot to take the San Francisco spot to take Trubisky. So they were saying that he fleeced Ryan Pace and all this stuff. But when you look at it, it's not him. It's Shanny that's out there doing all the work.
Yeah, Shanny's the one pulling the strings over there, man.
Yeah, so I mean, like, it doesn't surprise me, and this is not, like I said, it's not a common deal in the NFL for a head coach to be able to have full autonomy to decide who is on the roster, who gets cut, who gets paid what, so on and so forth. Sure. It's a weird situation to be in. But I'll tell you what, the fact that the Minnesota Vikings, who realistically hasn't been that bad with the team that they've had.
No, it's just the quarterback's inconsistent.
And they're just in the middle. And that's Kirk Cousins. That's Kirk Cousins for you. But you look at the offensive weapons they have on that team, they should be better than they are. But just like the Bears, just like everyone else in the NFC, they've been hampered by, at least in the North, they've been hampered by the fact that they play in a division where Aaron Rodgers is the number one quarterback and consistently takes them to the playoffs. So there's not much you can do there. And can I really be mad at your coaching staff if you can't get over the hump with Aaron Rodgers every year? What are you supposed to do?
Well, we were on the positive side that when we had Jordan, no one could get over the hump. Then we had to experience it on the other side with LeBron. So we get your pain, but guess what? I mean, we don't know what's going to go on with Rodgers. He still hasn't declared what he's going to do. I know that Green Bay has anteed up and doubled down.
Green pig.
Yeah, same thing.
So I mean, but they did not offer a contract to Jim Harbaugh. No. And Jim Harbaugh, who was linked to the Raiders job and linked to the Bears job, and all these Dolphins, Bears fans were upset about it. Well, guess what? Now he's going back to Michigan, and now he's got to sit there and try to recommit to these recruits that have not even come to the team yet and say, hey, just kidding, guys, I'm back.
Right, and he had to do it by Wednesday because of National Signing Day, which is Monday or whatever.
Right.
So he had to do that by a certain deadline. So it is what it is. It's a shit show, and that's what comes with Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah, and that's why I kept telling people, they're like, he wins everywhere he goes. He kind of wins. He kind of does okay. He doesn't live up to the expectations, and I feel like there would have been a lot of pressure for him as the head coach coming back to the Bears as a former Bear, as a big name. And look, the Vikings, and instead they ended up going with Rams offensive coordinator Kevin O'Connell. And that's what it is. He's not going to... Him not being as big of a name as Harbaugh and not nearly having the ego that Harbaugh has...
Not that much pressure.
That's the biggest problem. You don't have as much pressure.
Right.
That name comes with a stigma.
Yeah.
You better fucking win.
Exactly.
So...
Story number 2. We're going to stay on the NFL. Brian Flores sues the NFL and 3 teams as a former Miami Dolphins coach alleges racism in hiring practices. Listen to this.
I would just tell everybody, spare me the shock. Don't be shocked that this is going on. I've had this conversation with everybody on this panel, and I will never stop saying this. The fact that you have to have a rule to interview minority coaches is a problem. That's the problem. That's the seed and the foundation of it, because it's to save face. It's to create this whole utopia that everybody is equal in the NFL and everybody is getting the equal opportunity. So don't act shocked about Brian Flores filing a lawsuit. Don't act shocked when the details come out. Don't act shocked. We've been talking, like Ryan said, we've been talking about this, and we need to stop couching it as the NFL. We need to stop saying league office. We need to start saying owners. The NFL owners are the ones that determine who will be the head coaches for their football teams, and they have no incentive to hire black coaches, minority coaches, because they don't have to answer to anybody. You know who got to answer? You know who we patrol out there is Roger Goodell. And Roger Goodell becomes the enemy because he's the face of the NFL and he's supposed to fix it. No, he's not. It's the owners as to why black coaches aren't being hired in the NFL. And until we put that onus on that and stop acting shocked when things like this happen and it's not something that should be approached, then we can probably move forward and have a conversation with the real people that can actually change it, the owners in the NFL.
All right, E, what do you think? Hold on, before you start, I need one of these. There you go. Now you can go.
All right, man. Three teams right now that Brian Flores has is suing. It's the Dolphins, the Broncos, and the Giants. Now, this is a 58-page lawsuit. It was filed in Manhattan last week. Flores alleges that Dolphins owner Stephen Ross attempted to incentivize him to tank or purposely lose games shortly after he was hired in 2019, with Ross allegedly offering Flores $100,000 for every loss that season. Flores says that as the team won games late in the season, Dolphins general manager Chris Greer told him that Ross was mad that the on-field success was compromising the team's draft position. Additionally, Flores alleges that Ross pressured him into recruiting a prominent quarterback at the end of 2019 season, which the coach refused so as not to violate NFL's tampering rules. Ross then allegedly invited Flores onto a yacht for lunch in the winter of 2020, where he informed him that the quarterback was conveniently arriving at the marina for an impromptu meeting. Flores refused the meeting and left the yacht.
The what?
Flores,
what was that?
Flores refused the meeting and left the yacht. Afterwards, Flores alleges he was treated with disdain and held out as someone who was non-compliant and difficult to work with. Okay, so Brian Flores is basically saying, the Dolphins told me to fuck up. I didn't want to fuck up. I'm doing my job. I am doing my job to the letter of the law, the way that this job is supposed to be done.
Yeah.
You want me to tank because you want a better draft position. That's not how this works. And especially as someone coming off the Bill Belichick coaching tree. There is no way in hell that you're going to expect one of these guys to just tank. I don't care how you want to incentivize it. Now, this is not the first case. Just like we heard on TV this week. This is not the first time. Hugh Jackson.
Yep.
Hugh Jackson, who was the coach of the Browns back in the day, said that they also incentivized him from tanking $50,000 a game to lose. Now, first of all, at the time, the Browns didn't need any incentives to lose. They were going to do it anyway. So you should have just took that money and run.
Matt Nagy turned around like, y'all getting paid?
Yeah, right. And Matt Nagy did not lose that many games. But here is the problem. Right now, 2022, there is one, count them one with one finger, black head coach
Pittsburgh
in the NFL, and that's Mike Tomlin.
Wow.
That's one black head coach.
Yep.
Now, let me remind you of a couple of statistics right now. 15% of the American population is African American. That's 15. That's not that many when you look at the grand scheme of things.
Right.
70% of the players in the NFL are African American.
Yep.
You're going to tell me that with 32 teams that at least, 8 to 12 of those head coaches should not be African American, considering the fact that you look at all the assistants on the sidelines. You look at Byron Leftwich. You look at all these guys out there, Eric Bieniemy. They never get a chance.
Yep.
Why is Eric Bieniemy only now getting interviews at the end of this coaching process? Okay?
Because it's the token interview. That's what that is.
Exactly. So right now, the Miami Dolphins went ahead and they hired a young man named Mike McDaniel, who is apparently biracial. And you couldn't tell because he looks like that nerd that was doing your math homework in 6th grade. Okay? And he still looks like he's in 6th grade.
Wow.
Boy meets world over here.
So, are any of you surprised? about a story like this?
No, not at all. This has been happening for years and years, and they put in the Rooney Rule to shut people up. And guess what? All I got to do is give you an interview. I don't have to hire you. I checked off the box on the quota. Now I can move on to whoever I really want on my team, and whether they stink or not, whether they had five chances to suck, doesn't matter. I'm gonna hire whoever I want to hire because let's be honest. Look at the grand scheme of the owners. I'm pretty sure they're all white.
You know, as I listen to you guys and the passion in your voice, I mean, obviously this is a systemic issue, right? That just not in sports, but in general, you know, in our industry as well, we kind of experience the same thing with opportunity and contract world, right? So in a sports thing, when you had Kaepernick do his thing and he was kind of ostracized, this is kind of we're back to square one again. He was, you know, showing light to those kind of injustices, right? More recently now, what do we do about it, right? So do we stop watching sports? So who is your fan base?
That's the thing, is because your fan base is everyone.
Sure.
You have to realize that one of the things we talk about a lot is representation, and representation is always going to be brought up because it'll matter until it does not matter.
Correct.
What is the reason why a young potential head coaching candidate might not go after that job? Because he knows he's not going to get that job.
Sure.
He met with the Denver Broncos and John Elway. Okay, he came out and he basically said that the team conducted a sham interview and it was only there to satisfy the league's Rooney Rule, just like Z said. Okay, which is basically the rule that minority candidates must be considered for coaching vacancies. Okay, he said they showed up disheveled, red eye, hungover. Oh shit, we got this meeting. Let's get back from Vegas. And where the hell they were. Okay. Look, they got rid of Vic Fangio. They brought in Flores for an interview. Flores is still out there. Flores does not have a job yet.
He's the new Colin Kaepernick. He's the new guy that blows the whistle on the NFL, and guess what? Now you're being ostracized, and you got to sit out there because you're not part of the big boys club. That's what they're going to do to him, man.
So I ask you guys a question. So if we as fans, minorities, you know, stop supporting that initiative, right? Like, we love sports, right?
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why that will never ever happen.
Why is that?
Do you know why? Because kids in the hood see NFL, NBA as a way to get out of the hood.
Yep.
What is the fastest way for me to make money? Use my God-given ability. Use the fact that I'm fast and I'm strong and I'm tall. And this goes all the way back to slave days when we heard the stories about them breeding slaves based on their strength and their height and their capability and everything like that. And I'll tell you what, we're gonna later on we're gonna talk about the things that we watched this week. But one thing that I did watch part of was Colin Kaepernick in black and white.
Right.
Colin Kaepernick in black and white. And one of the most prolific scenes that I saw was in the very beginning, in the very first episode, when they're showing these young African-American men in the NFL Combine, and they have their arms stretched out, and they're measuring the arms, and they're measuring their weight, and they're measuring their height. And what do? You basically immediately, and I already saw where he was going, and I visualized it.
Right.
Slave trade.
Yep.
No, I mean,
look at this young boy here. Look at how tall he is and look how strong he is. You should want him on your team. Hire him today. Buy him today. He's much stronger than the rest of these boys. Right. So when you look at the comparison between the slave trade and when you got someone up on the trade block or a slave auction and the combine, I absolutely see how you could compare the two.
Yeah.
Now, am I going to stop watching it? No.
So here's the issue to answer Danny's question.
Correct.
The NFL cuts out a check to every team before they even play one game of $300 million. This is a collective bargaining agreement because of the TV deal.
Sure.
So the NFL is the biggest money maker. Let's just be honest here. And most of the money comes from TV. So whether you're the Jaguars, the Browns, or the Raiders, or the Bears, your check before you play one NFL game for your team, here's $300 million.
Nice.
So do you really think that the owners care about the people in the seats? Not really, because that's extra money. Because you know what? I can make it up in merchandising. Yeah. I can make it up in this and that. And so what? If I have $300 million and let's say I paid 500 or 800 million for my franchise, or let's say $1 billion, it doesn't matter. Yeah. I can make that money up in 3 years, 4 years.
So at what level then do you think it's up to the players then to protest that and stop playing then? Because where do you take a stand for the cause, right?
Let me tell you again why that's never going to happen.
Why is that?
If I don't play, I don't get paid.
Right.
Well,
That's how that works.
So nor does anybody else, right? Because if there's no football, then what happens?
You're never going to get a high enough percentage. You are never going to get a high enough percentage.
No,
of
I get it.
players
Right. So why do we complain about it then, right? If we're going to take the energy to bring it out there and then we don't come with a solution to fix it, what is our purpose of talking about something? Like, if we're just going to say it is what it is, money runs the world, and is it a racial thing or is it a power thing or is it a money thing? We're talking about it, we're angry about it, but we know it is what it is. So at the end of the day, who stands up? If the players don't play, right, and they go on and say, nope, until we get 50% participation like the city of Chicago did here, like you need 40% minority participation, it's a mandate. If somebody imposes a mandate on the NFL to say, you know what, 40% of the coaches must be minority, that's including Hispanic, that's including even a woman. Because at the end of the day, race is a thing, right? We know the good old boys are getting their share.
Yeah, they are.
But it's a question that is always going to be asked. But who's going to take that? Who's going to be the next Colin Kaepernick?
I mean, here's the problem. What happened to Colin Kaepernick? What is he doing right now? He's making Netflix documentaries. So what you're going to do is you're going to oust them from the league.
But is he really ousted though? He's making so much money right now, right? Like
he's not. But he has been blacklisted from the National Football League.
That's cool, right? But
that's what I'm saying. We're talking about the
where's
league
his money coming from
specifically.
though?
His
Nike. It's coming from Nike.
Sponsors.
Yeah, it's all sponsors.
It's all coming from his notoriety.
But did they really hurt him though?
But that's not the point. What it is
Right.
basically
They took his livelihood.
You took away his dream
Right.
of being an NFL player.
I agree. No, I agree
You
on
took
that.
away his ability.
Right.
You didn't take away his ability to make a living because
Right.
what you did is you actually made it more profitable
Thank
for
you.
him.
Yeah.
But that's not the point. The point is that, number one, you were never going to have full participation from enough players in the NFL to be able to halt the league from being able to play.
Right.
And the reason why is that even when you have your, let's say 70% of the players in the NFL are in agreement that this is wrong.
Sure.
We shouldn't do this. Again, 70% of them being black. Well, guess what? You know who's going to
Correct.
fill that role?
Right.
Whoever wants to, because that's exactly what happened every time that the NFL has had a labor stoppage or labor agreement. Hey, like I talked about last week, Sean Payton from the Saints was a spare bear.
Right.
Once the NFL went on strike, you will find all these players. More kids play baseball and football more than any other sports because there are so many positions on the field.
Sure.
You have a 52-man roster in NFL. In college, you have like a 100-man roster. So you get all these guys who never got their chance. Hey, Billy, you on the couch? Yeah, I'm tired of washing dishes. Come catch balls. That's what's going to happen. You'll never be able to cut it off enough.
Right.
It just has to be something that's worked through systemically, and it just has to start. This is a good start, but my fear is that Brian Flores is going to get blacklisted from the NFL just like Colin Kaepernick did.
No,
Yeah,
and I appreciate the conversation because you said it earlier, right? The kids from the hood want financial stability and they know that they're going to football, right? And are you in it for the money or are you in it for the passion, right? So if you're in it for the money and you're Colin Kaepernick and that's what your purpose was, you got what you wanted, right? Mm-hmm. Now we can say here, hey, we barred him from his dream, but wasn't his dream to be financially stable? Right, in a sense, without getting hurt in a concussion.
In a sense, but you got to remember his number one love was football.
I get it. Right.
Yeah.
But that's I think that's part of the problem is that you can't just
It's
say
true.
you're taking it as if they took away his ability to make money.
Right.
You can whether he makes $5 million or $50,000 a year,
Sure.
he can make money. That's not the point.
Right.
The point is that you found a way to systemically
Stop him.
find a way
Right.
from not being able to hold this job based on your comments, your actions, and your
I'm with you.
actions against
Yeah.
police brutality.
I'm with you.
That's not right.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm not disagreeing on that. I just think that again, what's the solution, right? I mean,
It's got to be a systemic change.
Right.
The solution is
Right.
the owners have to be the ones to make the change.
Yeah.
That's the solution. And when you look at what's going on with baseball right now, you got the players against the owners. And people say billionaires and millionaires. Well, guess what? Those billionaires already have their fucking money.
Yeah, and
the
it's not really
millionaires don't have money.
It's the 1%. that have millions in baseball. Everyone else is making 600,000, 800,000. They're not making that much money.
Correct.
Those are the guys that fill up your roster. So we'll get into that next week before because
I'm not going to the baseball.
No, because
look at him. He's
no,
all
you
wound
literally
up, man.
you pulled a yarn and you don't want to unravel that. We'll do that next week. All right, let's move on, gentlemen.
Can I just say something?
Yeah,
real quick,
go ahead.
No, I'm with you. Though, like 100%. This is not about. I'm all about the cause. Like Jay-Z got shit for it, right? Because he's like, hey, he took a knee. Now what? What do we do? And I took it the same way. It's like, let's do something about it. Like he took that knee. Now, okay, cool. But what has been done since Colin Kaepernick? Let's just not to prolong the conversation.
No, I get you, but nothing's really been done.
Nothing.
No,
right?
but that's the thing is that I think what happened is the players showed out and the owners didn't match that energy.
Gotcha.
That's the problem.
Gotcha.
That's the problem. And now we're going to the point where it's affecting NFL head coaches.
Sure.
Where they're not getting a job. And you want to talk about minority? We can talk about Brian Flores being not only black but from Honduras.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So you got
Catracho.
a double guy, right? You know, double edged sword
100%.
right there. You know what I mean? A double dip. So it's this is something that needs to be fixed.
He needs a cold beer.
Oh, I got a cold beer, baby.
I still got one. I get one for next segment. I'll have another
I
one.
respect your passion. That's dope.
That's right. All right, story number 3. And, we always have a fun story at number 3. Isaiah Thomas making headlines again. Isaiah Thomas said, I wanted to go home to the Chicago Bulls. These are funny details on how he sabotaged the Detroit Pistons during the 1981 NBA draft process, only to fall in love with the Motor City. Isaiah was drafted by the Pistons with the number 2 pick back in 1981, the year we were born. Guess we're old.
Wow.
81.
Well, you love getting government info, man.
Oh wow.
They're already tracking you on your phone.
There you go.
This came out after Isaiah's decision was to declare for the pros following a national championship under Bobby Knight with the Indiana Hoosiers. Even at the time, expectations for the boy of the West Side of Chicago were quite high. Isaiah had displayed unusually high basketball IQ, playing under the extremely disciplined coach of legendary Bobby Knight. Jesus Christ, what is wrong with me today, huh?
What do you mean? What is wrong with you? This is a
normal
feature right
This is
here.
my normal. Even at the time, but even the Hall of Fame caliber talent like Isaiah, it took a while to truly grow into an NBA game. He revealed in an interview with the Players Tribune that he only came across plays and playbooks at Detroit. So pretty much he was playing pickup ball until he got to the NBA.
Yeah, welcome to Chicago.
Yeah, typical Chicago. Sorry,
Hell
guys.
yeah.
I've coached. It's pretty much like that. It's hard to get these guys to actually look at a playbook. So pretty much he went into interviews before the NBA draft with different GMs and coaches and pretty much sabotaged the questions so that he would fall from the number 2 pick to either the 4 or the 6 pick. And he tried to do this along with Mark Aguirre so that way they can both be on the Chicago team. This is nuts.
Yeah, because I mean, this is the Bulls. They must. Sometimes you get a glimpse into the future and you see a young man named Michael Jeffrey Jordan coming down the pipeline, and you're like, yes, that's where I want to go. So I don't know, man. Maybe it was clairvoyant. I don't know. Look, let me tell you something about Isaiah Thomas. Man, fuck Isaiah Thomas. Fuck that guy. Get out of here trying to fucking do all crazy.
He's from
Look,
Chicago, buddy. You got to give him a little bit of respect. A little bit. Just a little bit.
He don't claim Chicago. He let me tell you something about Isaiah Thomas. Isaiah Thomas claims Chicago when it's convenient for him to claim
There you
Chicago.
go.
Otherwise, he's Detroit Pistons all the way, talking about how Michael Jordan wasn't that good.
You're right.
And how the Bulls weren't that good, and being a fucking asshole when they
But
went to
have
shake
you talked to
hands.
people in Detroit about Michael?
I don't care about Detroit.
But I'm saying
you
they're
know,
the-
you know
they're
who
the same
cares
way.
about Detroit?
Nobody.
Nobody fucking cares about Detroit.
Little Caesars? I don't know. That's the only people I know. That
Nah, but in all fairness, I mean,
Yeah.
like a lot of Detroit people feel the same about Mike, right? Like how we feel about Isaiah. Is it just because of the
We don't care
rivalry?
about, no, there's no rivalry. This is like saying the Bears and the Packers have a rivalry right now. It ain't a rivalry when you keep losing, bro.
it was a rivalry for 2 years.
Yeah.
And after that, it wasn't a rivalry
And then
anymore.
you guys cried, and Dumars and Lambier and Isaiah Thomas took their
But
ball.
why do we hate them so much? Seriously, because they beat us up.
No. It's the lack of respect.
Is that what it was?
No, it's the like because we were the little brother and they were the big brother. They beat the shit out of us.
Yeah.
Every single series, every single game. But then when we matured and we had a full team and we came at them,
Right.
and we took them down. Guess what? They cried like little bitches and left the court before the buzzer even sounded.
Didn't shake hands.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you can dish it out, then you're gonna get it too. So you know what? You lost as a man. Shake that motherfucker's hand. Look him in the eye. Shake him in the hand. Hey,
Yep.
great job, guys. I'll see you guys next year. I'm gonna kick your ass next year.
I
And
agree.
then you fucking walk off the court. Fuck him.
You know why we don't like Isaiah Thomas?
Why is that?
Because he's a little hoe.
No, damn.
Yeah, I mean, like Z said, you don't. Hey, you as a professional athlete,
Yeah.
as a man, you take your lumps like a man. Shake hands. Hey,
Hey, but didn't
Good
he get
job. We'll see you next time.
Didn't he get accused too for harassment when he was a GM in New York or something?
oh,
Yeah.
he
Tons of stuff.
So I don't respect that more so than anything, right? Like that's a reason not to like him if that's true, right?
yes, because he is a hoe.
Use a hoe.
You guys are crazy, man.
I'm Big Z, and that's news to me. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
We all know that 2020 was no joke, and with an ever-changing world climate, many people are looking for a new opportunity. Guys, are you looking for a career that rewards effort and makes you feel valued as a team member? Let me tell you a little about our friends at ACSI. ACSI is a certified RCN business agent. They provide the same RCN services with a personalized touch. Their sales and technician teams work hand in hand, ensuring your experience will be smooth and pleasant. Gone are the days of being transferred from one person to the next. At ACSI, they handle everything from start to finish. It's never been so easy to get internet service. ACSI is a growing Chicagoland company that encourages personal growth and rewards perseverance. As they expand, they're looking for passionate, responsible, and honest professionals to join their team. A career with ACSI means you will be part of a hardworking, flexible, and dynamic team that is a leader in the installation of cable and internet services in the Chicagoland area. Best of all, ACSI was awarded Hacia's 2020 Contractor of the Year Award. Are you ready to grow with a local Chicago company on the rise? Check out acsi.tech and click on careers to get started. That's acsi.tech and click on careers.
Hey guys, this is Mike Deportes, and you're listening to True Chicago Sports Fan Podcast.
Welcome back to the TCSF podcast with E-Rock and Big Z.
Oh, yeah.
This is The Loop, our Chicago sports roundup where we keep you in the loop.
This is Chicago. Doors open on the left at Chicago.
Welcome to Chicago. Welcome to Chicago. Welcome to Chicago.
This is Chicago. Doors open on the left at Chicago.
Welcome to Chicago.
Z, what is going on with C Red Nation and the Chicago Bulls?
C Red Nation is hurt, brother. They're hurt, man. They got about 8 players on the injured reserve, man. It's
So
bad.
you're saying C Red is the ambulance sign?
That is. It's the Red Cross sign, brother. They are super hurt. AO is pulling up there with the pulling up the ship, the plane, but it's bad, dude. You got Kobe out with the groin.
Yep.
You got Zach out with the back spasms, and he tried to gut it out the other day, and I think he had like 11 to 12 points. But you can tell he didn't have the spring in his step. In his step. Yeah. So the Chicago Bulls will have representatives at the All-Star weekend. Zach LaVine, Io. Io's gonna be in the Rising Stars, and they're gonna join Mr. King of the Fourth,
Yes.
Mr. DeRozan.
Yes.
So the funny thing is that the NBA changed the All-Star rules, and if the Bulls hold on to the number 1 seed in the East, they'll have their whole coaching staff coach the East.
Hell yeah. I mean,
That'll be awesome.
No, and look, we know Zach is hurt right now. We got Io is over here like really taking the charge, and considering what he's been able to do as a rookie coming into this league, he's been extremely impressive. I mean, like
his scoring is taking a hit because he's actually playing point guard and distributing the ball.
Correct.
And he's a great defender.
He is. I mean, he is a tenacious defender.
I think Caruso is rubbing off on him.
Look,
DeRozan and Caruso are rubbing off on him, and those are great guys to have.
And that's the thing is because, like I said when we started the season, I wasn't real high on Kobe White because of the fact that you had Io come in and he took over that role. Now Kobe came back. He's been able to do some scoring. He's actually grown in confidence. I think also working alongside, because this is a young guy as well, working alongside Io and allowing DeMar DeRozan to take him under his wing to see some of the scoring, because you do see some of the scoring tendencies out of Kobe that you see out of DeMar DeRozan. So, I mean, now that Kobe's hurt again, that's not a good sign for me, because, I mean, this is the third time already this season before the All-Star break that he's had to take time off.
Yeah, well, he had the shoulder redone in the offseason, so he had that time off, and I think he did get sick. I think it was part of that COVID protocol stuff. But, I mean, what we have right now is you have a bunch of young guys getting exposure. They're getting that playing time. Io has shown you that he can step up and take over the team and lead the team and take over that Lonzo Ball role. Now, the issue is that you got to remember that in college, you only play about 37, 38 games. Maybe if you get into tournament, another 5-6 games, right? There's 82 games. You do not want to burn out this kid too quickly.
You're right. And similar to like Derrick Rose, right? When he started his career, it's looking the same way with this guy a little bit.
Yeah, and I mean the good thing is that we've seen Kobe grow in confidence. I think that's a good thing, but I think what we're seeing is that he's not as durable as Io. I mean, he's physically not as big and strong as Io, but you're not wrong. I mean, I think especially for Io, considering the fact that he came out of college after spending his time there in Illinois, you know, not just coming out one and done.
He did 3 years, right?
And now he comes to the NBA. And you take your college experience, and you take the fact that you're working with a guy like AC, and you take the fact that you're working with a guy like DeMar DeRozan. Veterans in the NBA know what it takes to get a foul, to make a foul, to make a shot, to take a shot. I mean, you're seeing that he is growing in confidence every single day. I mean, the fact that drive to the basket we saw a couple days ago, I mean, at the end of the game for that dunk.
I got out of my seat. And it's been a while since I got out of my seat for a Bulls game.
Right.
And you know, the thing is that you know who you expect that from? Zach LaVine.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't expect that out of Io DeSumo.
No, it reminded me when Derrick Rose dunked on old boy in Phoenix.
Right.
That white boy that went to Miami. when Stacey Key's like,
Jason Williams?
No.
Or Tyler Hero.
It might have been Tyler Hero. I don't know, one of those kids. I remember Stacey saying, "Can you get higher?" Like he was all like high pitched, whatever. He double clutched and dunked it on that kid. That's the last time I jumped out of my seat watching a Bulls game. So this kid is exciting. The future looks good. Now, what's the problem is that we have a lot of injuries. And you got the Pacers and you got Cleveland, and now you're gonna have the 76ers all make moves to try to climb up that ladder.
Well, we have to see what the Sixers are going to do, because they're still sitting on Ben Simmons. We don't know what's going to happen with him. I've been listening a lot to reports that there's a possibility he might be traded for James Harden, to see Harden come over to the 76ers. We saw the Bulls today on Sunday have a hard time with the Sixers because they're just a much bigger team.
Yeah, they're huge.
Joel Embiid right now, you got to remember how big and how strong this guy is, but right now he's at his peak. So if the 76ers expect to have any shot at a championship, they have to take a chance at it now, because he is going to break down sooner rather than later. You know, Shaq was the anomaly, as when you look at big guys his size that were able to continue a career going forward.
Yeah.
But Joel Embiid, especially without Ben Simmons and someone next to him developing at the same time, he's not going to have a chance to go on much longer. I promise you that within like 3 years, he's not going to be nearly as good as he is right now.
I don't know.
28. His body style is not going to allow him to
but
keep
he's
up at this
completely
pace.
changed his game this season, and what he's been doing, and he's been working out really hard. He started doing watching a lot of videos of Kobe, of Michael, and some other all-stars or Hall of Famers, and mimicking those moves. If you watch Joel Embiid the last 4 or 5 games, he's doing the fadeaway. He is going to up and under. He is. I think he's putting years on his career by not banging and clanging in the middle, and saying, hey, I can shoot a 3-2, and I can fucking pull a fadeaway, and I can take you off the dribble.
But we're not talking about D Wade. D Wade hadn't learned. D Wade was already athletic enough. Joel Embiid is not athletic enough to overcome that when he does start to break down physically, and his mental capability is not going to catch up. Right now, he's at the peak of his physical ability. So when he starts to decline from that, and when he does gain that mental capability, his body is not going to be able to do those things anymore. That's what I'm saying.
No, I understand what you're saying. Like,
D Wade had to figure. D Wade was
I understand what you're saying. You got your mental and your physical, and they're not going to equal at the same time. I know what you're saying.
And it's just John Elway or some other quarterback. One of these guys came out and says, "By the time I had everything figured out,
my body
gave out."
So, question for you guys: you guys are up for that workload management? Then that everybody criticized that players take some time off during the '82 season. Are you for that, or what's your opinion on that?
To be honest, when I first started, and I think it first started with San Antonio doing that. But San Antonio also had an older roster, so I can understand why they did it. I didn't like it, and then you saw LeBron do it, and then you started seeing it trickle down to the rest of the superstars. Saying, "Oh, well, we're playing the Clippers." Who are the Clippers? We're not going to play. LeBron would not play in Chicago. Shaq would not play in Chicago because they're like, they're not. Chicago's not that good. So I was opposed to it, but now learning what I know and understanding what these players go through on a daily basis, not only during the games, but they do a lot of post therapy just to keep their bodies in shape. So if a guy has a nagging injury like Zach LaVine right now, yeah, give him treatment, give him some load management, give him days off. Of course, you're going to prolong the career of the player. Also, you're not risking your season if you're trying to be in the playoff hunt and you're trying to take your shot at the championship. Because let's be honest, last year was the Phoenix Suns and Milwaukee, and they only got in because of injuries or because Kevin Durant wears a shoe size half size bigger. Yep. His dumbass should have got a regular shoe, and guess what? That 3 would have counted it as a 3.
Hey, look what happened with the Utah Jazz. The Jazz and the Nuggets. It was the Jazz. That's what happened. That's how the Phoenix Suns made it to the finals last year.
I'm saying.
Because you look at what happened in that roster. You had Murray.
Kyler Murray?
No.
The other one. Murray, the basketball player.
Yes.
Murray, yes. Sorry.
Okay, and you know what I mean? Like that's what we saw right there. So that's why they didn't go to the finals. They should have been right there. Jamal Murray.
Yes,
it
Jamal Murray.
should have been Jamal. You got Jamal Murray and you got the Joker on that same team. The Joker finally lost weight during the pandemic. He came back looking great. He's looking in shape. He's probably one of the best, if not the best player in the Western Conference right now. And I'm including guys like LeBron, because who is more important to their team than a guy like Joker right now, aside from Luka? You know what I mean?
Luka's unstoppable.
So, I mean, you look at that. Now, let me ask you a question. You want to talk about load management. Do you take a break from work?
Absolutely not.
You don't take a break at work. You don't take a break to go take a shit or have
He's
a
like,
coffee?
I'm a machine. I'm the machine.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here. You know
Keep your shirt on, bro.
Unless you're going to fight or fuck a bear.
All kidding aside, I agree, but I think at the end of the day, right, these athletes sign a contract. No, it's 82 games. You look back in the day, Michael Jordan and those guys. I know exactly where you're going with that. It's an outdated notion. I'm gonna tell you why. We're right here. We got in the 30 for 30 with Tom Brady right now. Tom Brady is officially announcing this week his retirement at 44 years of age after 7 Super Bowls, after 22 years in the NFL. Don't you think that when you look at the fact that Michael Jordan basically flamed out of the NBA at age 38, look, LeBron James right now is age 38, and I promise you, LeBron James can, if he wants to, play till the age of 45. Sure.
You don't think that if Michael Jordan had some load management, aside from the 2 years where he took off, where he was still playing,
but he was playing baseball.
He was still playing baseball. Don't you think that if Michael Jordan practiced a little bit of load management, take a game off here or there, let your body recover, that he would have been able to play well into his 40s and actually been effective? And if that was the case, now you're talking about the Chicago Bulls winning 10 championships, winning 8 championships.
Well, the 72-10 season, they blew by everybody, because they blew everybody out in the first half. And guess what? By the fourth quarter, you had everybody with ice on their knees.
Correct.
And you had a Michael Jordan who had 2 years off of basketball. You want to talk about load management? Michael Jordan took 2 years off of basketball.
Sure. No, I mean, I agree. We all need rest, but I'm just looking at it from the fan base and we go back to the
Oh
ownership.
yeah,
Right.
oh yeah, no,
Fuck
no.
the fan base.
No,
Let me tell you
I know what
something.
he's saying.
No,
Go ahead.
the-
Get your point out.
When you talk about the fan base, that
Sure.
if I decide not to play in your stadium when you waited for that superstar to come
Sure.
out, guess what? My job, yes, it's a part of an entertainment business. My job is to win a championship.
Sure.
And if I need a break to be able to recover to win a championship, you best believe damn well that's what I'm gonna do. Because by winning a championship,
Sure.
guys like Bobby Porter's get these multi-year contracts for a bunch of money, and that's what it is.
Right.
Look, let me tell you something. I promise you, if Jimmy G would have went to the Super Bowl and found a way to win it instead of losing to the Rams, he'd make a hell of a lot more money in free agency or going to a different team when
He
gets
wouldn't be
traded.
getting cut or traded. He wouldn't. No, but I know what you're saying is like, okay, as a fan, and you're like, oh, I'm going to buy this ticket. I'm going to buy this premium ticket, and I want to see Kobe Bryant play the Bulls.
Sure.
And he doesn't show up, and he's like, oh,
Yeah.
I don't feel good. Like load management day. As a fan who paid hard-working money.
As a fan who paid to see the LA Lakers,
Right.
whether Kobe's there or not. I paid to see the Chicago Bulls because the Blazers are coming in or the Spurs are coming in. Hey, you didn't play Tim Duncan today. Oh, well, Tim Duncan knows that you don't need me to beat the shitty-ass Bulls team. You don't need to play. Give him a break. I have no problem with you as an entity, as a business, running your business, how you see fit to be as successful as possible at the end of the season. Your job is to win championships.
I understand that, but I'm saying there's two ways of looking at it. As a fan, you're selfish.
Right.
I want these guys on the court because I paid hard money to see them. Now, as a businessman, if I own the team or I'm the GM or the coach, guess what? I'm doing what's best for my team to win a championship. So yes, there's two avenues to it.
Yeah, there's two ways to look at it. The right way and your way. So
Whoa,
that's how
whoa,
it's gonna go. That's how it's gonna go. But look,
Welcome to the show.
Once again, we talk a little bit about some of these injuries piling up for the Chicago Bulls. There are some reports out there that they could be possibly going after Dennis Schroeder.
Yep.
Dennis Schroeder. So I mean, that's both the Bulls and Milwaukee. Milwaukee's right on the Bulls' heels right now, are vying for the services of Dennis Schroeder. Now
It depends on what they're going to give up.
They want a first and Kobe. I think that's what's out there right now. That's what's out there right now. And it's basically, people were saying, well, they got so many guards. Well, guess what? 2-year guards out for extended time. 2-year guards out for extended time. And if you sit there and you want to win a championship, the Bulls are in a very similar position as the 76ers right now.
Yeah.
Because you're looking at a guy like DeMar DeRozan, who has become the face, become the leader of the Chicago Bulls. He's in his 30s.
He can't be scoring 40 points a game.
Vucevic is 30 going on 31.
An old 31. He's on an old 31.
You know, and he's playing well. He's playing very well.
Every time we criticize him on the podcast, then he has a good week. Then we look like a-holes. But you know what?
No, it looks like we
fire under his ass.
It sounds like we have a very loyal listener who takes our advice.
All right, E, let's transition to your sport, the Chicago Bears. What's going on with your beloved Chicago Bears?
Yo, we're gonna kick everyone's ass. We're gonna make everyone run. That's what it's gonna do. Matt Eberflus came in on fire.
Wishful thinking, huh?
Hey, there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things going on right now. Look. I would agree with the sentiment of wishful thinking, quote unquote, if we've seen what this coaching staff has to do, because we don't know what they're going to do right now. You know, there was a lot of rumors of who's going to be brought to the team. There's a lot of movement that's been happening right now. So let's take a quick look at the list of what they've compiled.
I am cracking up because it reminds me of the meme of the little kid in 9th place with the champagne, like, yeah, fuck yeah.
But no one's doing
and everyone's
that.
looking at it like, what the fuck are you happy about?
No one's doing that.
The Bears fans are doing that.
Bears fans are not doing it because most
They're
Bears
hypercritical.
Most Bears fans don't like this hire. They want them to get Jim Harbaugh, and they
Fuck
want them to
Jim
bring
Harbaugh.
back. They want them to bring back Walt Spade from the dead to be the running backs coach, and you know what I mean? Like, it's ridiculous. Bears fans are the most cynical.
Oh yeah, they
assholes
want Vic Fangio back. Yeah, they want everybody back.
And I'm like, dude, there was the people were talking about bring back Lovey, and I'm like, stop.
Oh, cover two's
Collaborate.
done.
Yeah, no. Anyway, so let's take a quick look around who the Bears have hired. Like we talked about last week, they did bring in Ian Cunningham for the Bears' first assistant GM in Bears history. They brought in Luke Getsy, the offensive coordinator, who was the passing game and quarterbacks coach up in Green Bay. They brought over Andrew Janako, who was the quarterbacks coach over in Minnesota. So they're just robbing everyone blind that's around the area, because they also brought in Alan Williams from the Colts to be their defensive coordinator. He was a defensive coordinator once before, like we said, with the Minnesota Vikings, and he was part of Matt Eberflus's staff on the defensive side of the ball. They also brought in Tyke Tolbert for the wide receivers coach, formerly with the Giants. Chris Morgan for the offensive line coach, who looks like a whole offensive line by himself.
That's right.
And also Dave Borgonzi, who I also believe came from that Colts coaching staff. So
Chicago Colts.
Chicago Colts. So, I mean, like, Danny, let me ask you, looking at when you're trying to bring in a staff, what are the most important things that you would look for a potential candidate to tell you? What would be the trigger for one of these guys to tell you not to be part of your staff, but to be part of your leadership core?
You know, that's a hard question, man, because everybody has different style. Everybody relates to people differently. I think you got to study human nature, understand the culture. What are you trying to bring, and stay true to yourself. I think a lot of people see past the phoniness, and some people want to come in and reinvent the wheel, right? So I look for character, I look for charisma, I look for discipline, people who show up and do what they're going to say, and take lead. You know, you don't always need to be asking for approval all the time from, you know, your superiors. And at the end of the day, you know, you have that backbone to make a decision, stand by it, and don't be afraid to make mistakes. So a strong-willed person, and it goes, it's a broad term leadership. There's a lot of responsibility. There's no clocking in, clocking out, no hourly. It's all day, every day, no days off until the mission is complete.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, and that translates over to the coaching side as well. That's the same kind of approach that I take. If I'm going to do that and I have an assistant coach, this is what I need you to do.
Yep.
You're doing your job, and I'm going to hold you accountable for doing your job. I'm not going to blame the players, because you're the one leading those players. Now, if you look at what we have here with the Bears, are you happy with what we done?
You know, I think paying attention to the Bears as a little kid, since the 85 Bears, right? I look back at the Dicta ages, and, you know, Dicta's always the guy, right? The model coach. And since Dicta, who's been close? Is it Lovey? You know, when he had his run and he took a different approach of kindness, almost relate. You know, there was a softer side to managing.
There was the softer side was on TV.
Yeah,
he was an a-hole on the field.
I'll tell you what. So
soft spoken, I should say.
Yeah,
right?
soft spoken. Yes.
No, Lovey was more standoffish.
Okay.
I'll put it that way, because if you ask him, "Hey, who's gonna start next game?"
We'll find out next week.
No, he did not say that. Rex is our quarterback. And he would give you those one-line forward answers. Rex is our quarterback. Hey, stop fucking questioning my decision. I am the head coach of this team. I've brought us success. We've had some failures, but we're doing the best that we can to win football games.
Right.
So when you keep over here asking me who my quarterback is going to be, knowing damn well who my quarterback is going to be, stop fucking questioning my decisions. This is my roster. I will put it together the way I see fit.
It's Kyle Orton.
And that's what we see. But listen, from what we're seeing out of Matt Eberflus, that's what we're seeing right now.
I love it.
When you look at his speech,
Right.
and we can dig into that a little bit deeper when we get closer to Bears again.
Do you think
Training camp.
Do you think the ownership from the Bears is doing the best that they can for what they've been doing over the years?
I don't think the Bears ownership has any idea what the fuck they're doing, and they have to bring in outside consultants. But this is what I will say. When you look, I was trying to get to is that Eberflus comes out with his speech, and one of the main things he says is that we're going to go out there, we're going to have a hard-nosed defense. He's basically talking about getting back to Chicago Bears football.
Yes.
Smack you in the mouth, kick your ass, and
Nice.
when you're down, we'll kick you again. We'll get up, we're going to change to a 4-3 defense. We're going to do whatever we can to run the ball, and we're going to make this team tough again. And that's why he said, hey, everyone on the roster is on notice. Get your track shoes on. We're running.
That's good.
Correct me if I'm wrong, I think
You're wrong.
And I'm going to cut that out and use that again.
Wow, wow, wee, wow.
Oh, yeah. If Matt looked at the film before he got hired, and he went up to Ryan and said, "Hey, this is what went wrong with your team, or what's wrong with the team." The biggest thing that he looked at was that the offensive line was not sticking up for their quarterback when they're getting fucking pounded into the floor like nails.
Right.
When Justin Fields got popped, and you got Tevin Jenkins, going up and sticking up and trying to fight somebody, and he's like, that's exactly what I want from the whole offensive line.
Right.
No one should take a cheap shot at our quarterback. Our quarterback should not be on the floor. And if they are, pick his ass up right away.
So you look at like the Chicago Cubs, right, and the Bears. There's always going to be fans, no matter what, no matter if the team is good, right?
Oh yeah.
So I thinking from that perspective, whether the Bears and the Cubs do anything, will they still get the same fan base or not? Right? They sell out all the time. We're passionate, and I think are we a quarterback away? Are we always a kicker away? Like, what's the formula that's going to work? And I think what Eddie just said, to have a coach come in and hold people accountable, that's where you start.
I think both Cubs and Bears fans are the most loyal and the most optimistic.
Correct.
Very optimistic, because you know what? Wait till next year, right? That was the Cubs' motto until they won, and then after they won, they're like, we want to keep winning. They started holding their team accountable, and when they stopped winning, they stopped going.
Right.
Which is what you're supposed to do. The Bears fans do the same thing. They're very optimistic. They're all gung-ho. Hey, we're at training camp, and they got 5,000-10,000 people watching training camp, and they go to all the preseason games, and guess what? Every game is sold out until they go on a 4 or 5 game losing streak. Then guess what? No one's going to the December, January games. First, because it's fucking cold, and two, if they suck, no one's gonna go except for people that got free tickets, or unless you're sitting in the Cadillac section where you get the heat.
No, that's why it's a broad question. Leadership. It's only a reflection on the players, and if they buy into your program, that's when you're going to be successful. I mean, you're a teacher, right?
Yeah.
You understand that if you don't have control of the class, they'll run over you, right?
Oh, Jesus, of course.
Similar.
I mean, the good thing is that so far we have seen positive response from the players about what Eberflus has had to say, and like I said, hard-nosed, disciplined.
Nice.
Basically, if you fuck up, you're out the door.
Yeah.
And I do want to remind you that Ryan Poles was on the Bears once before as an offensive lineman.
Yep.
And what I also talked about in previous episodes is the fact that when you know the position, but you were never quite physically good enough to play well in that position, you know what it takes to do good. And that's why guys like Michael Jordan failed so poorly at being a leader as far as a coach or a GM or something like that, because he already has that natural ability to overcome the mistakes. When you're not as talented, you have to be precise with your fundamentals. And a guy like Ryan Poles, who came over on the practice squad, he understands what's that like. Now, when you look at what they have on the offensive line, I mean, there are definitely holes to fill, but you got James Daniels, who's going to be a free agent. You got to figure out if you're going to pay him or not. You got Tevin Jenkins, who is a brand new guy. You got Derry Borum. You got Alex Bars. You got Sam Mustapher. You got a lot of players. You got Jermaine Ifedi there. You have a lot of players there.
Yeah, this guy knows a lot of names, man.
No, he don't. That's what I'm saying. The Bears,
Wow.
when it's football,
he's not even reading anything.
No,
man.
he's not. No, when it comes to football, I defer to this man, and I have learned a lot. But
That's impressive.
The offensive line will not be the offensive line that you saw last year. I can guarantee you, half of them will not be there.
Ifedi won't be there.
No.
I'm not sure what's going to happen with Daniels, because he's going to cost $10 million. I mean, at the same time, if he knows. See, the thing that people have to remember is that the offensive line works as a unit.
Yes.
This is not like a wide receiver, singularly, who can change the game by his route, who's going to affect the entire defense.
No.
The defense as a whole has to work as a unit.
Right.
But offensively, yes, you have to work as a unit.
It's like
but
a
your
concert. Like if you have one
defensive
instrument
line
off,
has to
it
work
throws
together.
everything off.
I'm going to change my answer and say I'll hire Eddie as a coach.
He already coaches.
I'm
He
just
coaches
saying, man,
girls softball.
That's the solution to the Bears win right there, baby.
But
1 minute.
okay, yeah, but again, I mean, the biggest thing is that I think when you look at the fact that
their GM is an offensive lineman, and their head coach is coming out and basically saying, if you don't work your ass off, you're not going to play. I think that's the gist of what he's been saying, and I think right now, at the very least, like you said before, Bears fans can be optimistic. It might not be that splashy name that you wanted, but guess what? At least he's delivering a message that we're going to get back to, quote-unquote, Chicago Bears football. So now that we're getting back to Bears, quote-unquote, Bears football, right?
Right.
I think we can all assume safely at this point the Chicago Bears are not going to be playing at Soldier Field much longer.
Yeah, they're not.
Because they're making the moves. We saw McCaskey show up at O'Hare to go pick up his boy.
And his Camry. Oh,
Now-
wait.
He did look like a college student. It was kind of fun. So here's my question.
Yes, sir.
Let's say the Arlington Heights new stadium is going to be completed by we're in 2022. Let's call it 2027.
Yep.
Let's call it nice and even, not conservatively, not too 2027.
Yeah, 5 years. Yeah.
Is Ryan Poles and Matt Eberflus gonna be in charge when they go?
How did I see this coming? No. I don't see either one of these guys making it 5 years.
Wow.
I don't. There will be a new GM and a new coach. I was the same manager because I'm in baseball mode in my head. I do not think. Yes, it's already on. It's recorded, so it's all there. You'll come back and you can yell at me.
No.
But I'm just saying they will not be there.
Here's my question.
When the new stadium.
Here's my question.
All right.
Why?
Because of the inept fucking situation that they're in right now with the salary cap and the inability of getting free agents.
So you're already this is what that tells me. When you look at the way the NFL operates, every shitty team is shitty because they have a shitty quarterback.
Yeah.
Teams with good quarterbacks and the rest of the team being mediocre can overcome that. We've seen the Saints do it over and over and over and over and over again.
Right.
We saw the 49ers make it to the NFC Championship this year.
Yep.
We saw the Packers win the North year after year, partly because of the ineptitude of the Detroit Lions and the Bears. The Bears kept tripping over the Bears kept tripping over their own feet because you saw the talent and they just could not get out of their way. And the Vikings are like the most hot and cold team, the most hot and cold franchise I've ever seen in my life. But what you're also telling me is that you don't have enough faith in Justin Fields that 5 years from now he can be good enough that these guys can still be employed.
No. And it's not really on Justin Fields, it's on the Bears organization. And this is kind of relates to the whole Bears and Cubs thing. I don't trust the organization.
Sure.
The organization has changed. You got a brand new GM. He's already changing things. He's brought in the first assistant GM of all time. There are things that they're changing
until they win some games. They haven't changed shit.
So basically, well, first of all, that's not true. But basically what you're saying is that you have no faith, because the real test is to know in December what they've done, which many fans on our page said, I'll judge this coaching staff when we see what happens in December. Now, you're judging prematurely, thinking that there's no way that they can get over the hump. And again, we're also predicating this on the fact that we have no idea what's going to happen with Aaron Rodgers.
There's so many things that can happen in 5 years.
Right.
You can have an all-star team, an all-star football team, and then they all get hurt. And guess what? You'll have them know or they can't come back, or they get traded, or they leave on free agency. And guess what? Now you have 2-3 years of being mediocre. Guess what? These guys are going to be gone too. I don't have the trust in the Bears organization. I don't.
So you don't have
30-something years, bro.
So you have zero faith in the new coaching staff then?
No, I said the Bears organization.
No.
I told you
because
one day show me some wins.
The coaching staff is who decides if they win or lose. The coaching staff. This is Brian Poles and Matt Eberflus.
And the GM, right? And the GM
controls who wins or loses games.
The GM and the head coach controls this.
So you have no faith in these guys.
The Big Z.
Until they start winning some games, I have no faith.
So right now,
prove me
they're
wrong.
Part of the Bears organization, but they're all brand new employees.
Wishful thinking, my friend.
They're all brand new employees. Basically you're just telling me you have no faith
When you
in
have
them
new
right
employees, what is your outlook? For me,
Yes.
prove me wrong.
Well,
the bar's
you
down
also
here,
fucking hire them.
Right.
but the bar's low.
Yeah. There's still a
Okay,
learning curve.
so if the bar is low, that means that they can go over expectations very easily.
They
But
may
you
or
have
may
no
not.
faith in
I
them.
don't have faith.
You have no faith.
No.
And that's what I'm saying. You have no faith in the staff.
No, and
But
that's
you're
probably
also
why I'm not a
telling
Cub
me
fan.
You have no faith. Hey,
That's probably why I'm not a Cub fan.
There you go.
Okay.
I'm just be honest.
05 to 16. That's what we're going to say right there. What happened last year?
We'll check in 5 years who was right and wrong here. You're just going to keep these in the archive?
Yeah, they will be in the archive. That's what I'm saying.
Let's see.
If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. That's fine. I don't mind being fucking surprised. But I'm just saying the bar is fucking low. They haven't won a Super Bowl since '85.
I mean, we got the receipts of you being wrong in every show.
Oh my God! Just because
come
you
on.
say I'm wrong doesn't mean I'm wrong.
No,
Hey,
but
if
I
you
think
don't
both of you
claim you're
guys got a good point because, Teddy, you got to stay positive and have faith.
Don't you
right?
come in here and mediate.
No,
What the
but
fuck is this
but
shit?
at the same
I
time,
don't care how many shows
Hey,
you
can you
sponsor.
go to
right.
MLB
He's
and
right.
mediate that shit?
he's right. Big Z.
Yeah, he just said
right.
granted, there's no video in here, so you can't see he pointed at because he pointed at me.
He did not point at you. He gave you the FU.
We'll agree to disagree, young men.
Oh, man.
That'll never happen.
All right, fans, let's take a pause for the cause and we right back with our new segment, The Bottom Line, after a quick word from our sponsors.
Hey, true Chicago sports fans, show off your Chicago pride with some fresh clothes from Grit Clothing Company. At Grit Clothing, they create that simple yet classic style that represents that Chicago Southside lifestyle. From t-shirts to hoodies, hats to glassware, they've got you covered. Grit has everything you need to represent your Chicago pride, so do it right now. Check out gritclothingco.com and use the promo code TrueFan15.
TrueFan15.
For 15% off your entire order. Let me say it again. That's gritclothingco.com and use the promo code TrueFan15 for 15% off of your entire order.
Welcome back to the TCSF podcast with E-Rock and Big Z.
Yeah.
This is The Bottom Line.
And that's the bottom line.
All right, in this segment, we discuss the biggest Chicago sports topic of the week and in the world, the Super Bowl, man. Everyone put your beer down, put your beer nuts down. Okay, keep your hands above the table, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Keep them above. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Insert clip there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we all know that the Super Bowl is the mecca of events of the world. The Cincinnati Bengals and the Los Angeles Rams meet in the Super Bowl of 2022. It'll be a matchup featuring a team that made the Super Bowl in 2018 and one whose previous appearance came 20 years before that. It'll also feature a veteran quarterback with a shot at an NFL title against another who's getting his chance way ahead of schedule. The Rams' Matthew Stafford in his 13th year in the league, and he had never been on a team that won a playoff game before. Sorry, Matt. Joe Burrow, meanwhile, is in his second season and has carried a Bengals team further than anyone expected. Break it down.
Oh my goodness, Super Bowl 56 is coming hot and heavy, ladies and gentlemen. It's a couple of teams that I don't think anyone would have expected, or a couple of players that no one would have expected. I don't think most football fans, NFL fans would have thought that we would have been watching Matt Stafford, formerly the Detroit Lions, in his very first season with the Los Angeles Rams, going over and facing second-year quarterback Joe Burrow.
That kid just wins,
cool
man.
Joe.
He just wins.
Look, Joe Burrow, the Bengals, his second year, last year got cut short in his rookie campaign with an injury, and he came back on fire like he does not care. He was a grad student when he went to LSU and won a national championship with the Bayou Bengals down there in LSU 2 years ago. So, the fact that he was able to come into Cincinnati, turn that whole whole franchise around enough to go ahead and win big and make his way to a Super Bowl in his second season is entirely impressive. So like you said, we got a seasoned vet who is at his first year with a brand new team for him, and a guy who's basically pulled himself up by his bootstraps. All he does is win. You can drop that sound in there all you want because he's got the swag, he's got the look, he's ready to go. And look, I don't know, man. When I look at the talent, I look at the Rams, all the players that they brought in. Don't forget, yes, they went to the Super Bowl 2 years ago, but since then they've added Matthew Stafford, and not only did they add Matthew Stafford, they got rid of Jared Goff's bum ass. Okay, this team also added Von Miller, one of the best defensive players over from the Broncos, and they got Odell Beckham, who has been thriving since coming over to the LA Rams.
That's because they're throwing him the ball.
But I still think the Bengals are going to win. I don't know, man. I think the Bengals got it, bro.
What do you think, Danny?
You know, I just heard you say he had his master. He was doing his masters.
So Joe Burrow graduated from OSU, had a year of eligibility left.
Yeah,
he's like, well, fuck it, let's go down to LSU. I mean, you know, you got Mufaletta, you got all the nice jazz music down there. He went down there and hung out and just won a championship just on a whim. He was like, I'm here, guys, let's do it. That's what he's doing with the Bengals.
Yeah, I think he's got the momentum, man. I think who's favorite? I think the Rams are probably favored.
Yeah, the Rams are favorite.
It's like a 3.5. Yeah.
You know, I was watching. I've been paying attention to him when he was in college. He's got that swag. He's got that confidence. Under pressure, he's ice cold, right? You don't see him panicking. I think a lot of that growth, like you said, it came out with experience. So I like to see him win. It's going to be a hard. We'll see what Stafford does. You know, he's due his win too, though. You got to think about that, right? So
yeah. I really like Stafford. I've always been a fan of Stafford. The way he plays, he's been a gritty motherfucker. Yep. He's broke his back playing for fucking Detroit and the sorry ass organization that's up there. But then you have Burrow who goes like, oh, I'm going to win a championship in LSU. Then I'm going to get drafted. I'm fucking lighting the NFL on fire. Then he gets hurt, comes back, and there was no way they should have won. The Titans should have beat them. Everyone else should have beat them because the Bears beat them. And it's just all about when you get hot.
Yep.
It's all about when you get hot.
And that's one of the things that we actually made a mistake last week because we were talking about the Raiders and the Chargers with that coin flip game. And it was the Raiders that actually won and made it to the playoffs. It wasn't the Chargers. So the Raiders did make it to the playoffs.
They did.
So that is our correction of the week, the one only time we've ever made a mistake, ladies and gentlemen.
Because Eddie's never wrong.
We apologize for that.
I mean, you know.
Z apologizes for that.
Here's the thing, too. Like, Tom Brady's going to retire, right? And who's the new face of the NFL? Why wouldn't it be Cincinnati, right?
Yeah, 100%.
So there's something that if you're a conspiracy theorist, you're gonna think that the NFL is going to push them to win somehow, some way. But we'll see. I just hope it's going to be a good game. Kind of the game that who is it? Where they're going back and forth to the last minute, wasn't that?
Let me tell you what.
Yeah,
this has been one of the most incredible playoffs that we've ever seen ever.
Oh, yeah.
Like where every single game goes down to the wire.
Right.
I mean, we had people that were rooting against Patrick Mahomes because they want new blood. Don't be salty that this young man who's 25, 26 years old has made it to 4 straight AFC championship games.
Wow.
That's not his fault. Don't be salty about that.
Right.
The fact that he went in there as a second-year player and won a championship with all the talent they have on that team. I think a lot of people thought that was going to be the team leading that charge for the AFC to win, not only go to but win the Super Bowl. But now we're looking at all the old guard is gone, right? So we look at some of the old quarterbacks that have been booted out of the playoffs so far. You look at Ben Roethlisberger, he retired. You look at Aaron Rodgers, who knows what the hell's going to happen with him. Yeah. You look at Tom Brady, he retired. So now we're looking at a big change in the face of the NFL. Who are going to be the leading teams in the NFL? We saw the Chargers over there for so many years with Phillip Rivers. Now we're seeing Justin Herbert have his resurgence right now. We're seeing him come out on fire from when he came into the league last year. And I think when you look at him and look at Joe Burrow, you're talking about 2 second-year players. You're talking about Josh Allen, who's been coming out on fire.
Right.
You're looking at Pat Mahomes, who was coming out on fire. And right there is 4 very good quarterbacks that all play for AFC teams.
Yep.
So what I would say more than anything else is that NFC needs to watch out because I don't know how you're going to get past these 4 very good young quarterbacks because I don't see another good young quarterback on the NFC side.
Right.
Who look at the quarterbacks that have won championships in the NFL right now. Most of them are out of the league.
Yeah.
Peyton Manning, Roethlisberger, Brady, Drew Brees.
It's changing the guard, like you said.
The two that you have left, especially in the NFC, Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson. Everyone else is free of a championship because they haven't won shit.
And Nick Foles, who beat Tom Brady.
Yeah, boy. Bears quarterback Tom.
Ari, if you had to lay down a $5 bet, who you betting on?
I mean, look, why wouldn't I go with the Bengals?
Right.
Why wouldn't I?
Yeah.
Make that money.
Yeah.
Make that money. Again, here's a big problem. Matt Stafford cannot be trusted in the fourth quarter.
He's always going to throw an interception every game.
He can't be trusted in the fourth quarter. So even if it's a close game, which I have no idea if it's going to be or not, this is this year's version of last year's Bucks. It's the land of misfit toys, right?
Yeah.
You got Aaron Donald, you got Leonard Floyd on that team. Like I said, you got Odell Beckham, you got Matt Stafford, you got Von Miller. It's the island of misfit toys.
Yeah, and they mortgaged their future just to get to this point.
100%. This right here was all in year for the Rams, and I hope for Sean McVay that he can win it because I think it's cool. You're talking about a guy who's only 36 years of age at this time and has been in the league for a couple of years. This is the second time in 2 years that you've taken your team to the Super Bowl and won the NFC Championship.
That's impressive.
Over Aaron Rodgers, over Tom Brady.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you have been pushing the old guard out the door. This is one of them teams right now. It's put up or shut up time. I just look at the fact that right now the Bengals are playing with house money. There is no pressure on them to win.
Definitely. The only issue is that there's a lot of injuries on the Bengals side. They lost their tight end. There's a lot of linemen that are out on the offensive line. So Burrow doesn't have a lot of time, especially playing against, like you said, Von Miller and all the animals on the other side of the Rams with Floyd and Donald. Those motherfuckers are animals. And that's why, I mean, Donald's the defensive player of the year in, year out. And he supersedes his stats from the year before. He's a monster. So, I don't know. That defense is great. I want Burrow to win. And that's me. I hate Ohio. I fucking hate Ohio. Everything about Ohio. But I'm cheering for Joe Burrow.
Where's the Super Bowl going to be held this year?
It's in LA.
The Rams' home stadium.
SoFi. It's in SoFi.
It was the first last year. The Bucks won it in their home stadium for the first time in Super Bowl history. A team whose stadium hosted the Super Bowl, won the Super Bowl. They had to win the NFC Championship in their home stadium to go to the Super Bowl in their home stadium.
Nice.
So, back-to-back years.
And here's the thing. Who has the benefit from that? Nobody, because them damn tickets are so expensive. Only rich folks are going anyway. It don't matter. That shit don't matter.
So the NFL came out with a solution to this. Mm-hmm. They will now host every Super Bowl in Dallas so that the home team never wins, never plays at home.
That's for you, Miguel.
I'm looking forward to the halftime show, man. They got some pretty good lineup, I think, this year for halftime.
Well, like you said before, you got Eminem and Stafford. That's the closest Detroit's ever going to get to a Super Bowl. So
for us all old heads, you know, now we feel like when we were kids, you're like, who are these people?
Hey, you know, I'm glad you guys are going to take a chill pill and eat some good chili and, you know, enjoy the game, right? I think that's
ladies and gentlemen,
right?
Since you didn't know, this next week for Super Bowl Sunday is going to be our first ever break. We are not going to be recording a show next week. We are actually going to enjoy ourselves instead of looking at the game at a hypercritical eye, and we will be back the following week to talk about baseball. It's going to be so much fun, but we deserve a break too, and I think you'll probably need to go stock up on the Q-tips so you can scrape all the crap out of your ears that we've been talking to you about for 83 episodes, and I think it's time. I think you deserve a break as well. But look, let's look at some of the matchup breakdowns right now real quick. The key players, you know, like I said before, Matt Stafford, it just cannot be trusted in the fourth quarter of a game. But you look at, there's two very important players on the Rams right now, and that is Odell Beckham Jr., who has been a big relief to them after Robert Woods went down. But the key player in this game to me, and who's the potential MVP of the Super Bowl for the LA Rams, is Cooper Kupp, man. Cooper Kupp, the white boy with swag. He even got the naps on the beard. And bro, this kid, I don't know where he came from. I don't know what kind of weird NFL player maker that they pushed the button on, but they spit out a good one here. This kid is incredible. Watching him take a hit and then spinning out of that hit somehow, it's incredible.
He's mastered that.
He is one of the best route runners I have ever seen, and I think that if he has a good game, then the Rams will definitely win. And another thing to remember, Joe Burrow in that divisional game was sacked nine times.
Yep. Wow.
Okay, 9 times. So that tells you a lot about his offensive line. But I want to remind you of something. And there's a young man that Joe Burrow used to play with when he played at LSU.
That's
and
right.
his name is Jamar Chase, and that is one bad man. So I think when you look at the fact that you're looking at Cooper Kupp versus Jamar Chase, what does it come down to? Well, I promise you that Joe Burrow has a better chemistry with Jamar Chase than Matthew Stafford has with Cooper Kupp. With Cooper Kupp, because that's what I'm looking at. Odell's going to be a factor, but Odell might be the first one to score a touchdown in the Super Bowl, because don't forget, Odell has never had success in the playoffs either. Whether he was with the Giants, whether he was with the Browns, whether he was with the Rams, this is his first real taste at any type of winning in the postseason. So I mean, the big question for me is, how is Aaron Donald and how is Von Miller and how is Leonard Floyd going to play on the line for the Rams? That right there is going to be a deciding factor in this game.
You definitely have a lot of characters. I'm looking at the roster right now. Matthew Stafford looked like Tom from fucking MySpace on his profile picture here. Cooper Kupp is going to be the wild card there, because he catches and he anticipates the hits and spins off them. Aaron Donald, like I said earlier, is just a monster. Von Miller is trying to prove something that after Denver that he can still win. You also have Cam Akers. Don't forget about Cam Akers. And they have Sony Michel.
Cam Akers just came back after missing pretty much the whole season with an injury, and then I forgot their other running back that just went down.
Sony Michel, the other one before that. Yeah.
So I mean, here's the one.
Darrell Henderson.
Yeah, Darrell Henderson, who I had on my team.
I had on my team too.
Yep. And here's the thing I want to remind people of, and when we talk about no pressure right now, Jamar Chase is a rookie.
Oh yeah,
Jamar Chase is a rookie, and another player that people forget about is
Joe Mixon?
T. Higgins.
Oh, that one.
T. Higgins from Clemson.
Yes.
He is only a second-year player.
Yeah.
So you talking about a young dynamic. This T. Higgins was his Joe Burrow's main receiver in his rookie season.
Right.
And then he gets his boy Jamar Chase. What in the hell is going on here? How come the Bears don't have these players, guys?
Because they had a bad system, man. They had bad people in place. Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, I think that the problem will be the Bengals' offensive line when it comes down to the game. That's going to be a deciding factor for me. They need to run the ball and take and have the time of possession to take the ball out of the Rams' hands. That is going to be the biggest thing for me. You also have the Bengals kicker, who's been automatic.
Yes.
That dude is automatic.
Once again, a rookie, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. I mean, they have outstanding talent up and down that field, and they're all young. So what I look at and equate to this is a young Indianapolis Colts team when they had Peyton Manning and they had Marvin Harrison. They had a stacked team on both sides of the ball, and that's what they look like to me, man.
Danny, you got any feeling either way on how this game's gonna go?
I just think the NFL is going to push for Cincinnati to win for some reason, right? I mean, I'm all about sports and competitiveness, but more recently I've been seeing a little bit of shadiness in the game.
That's because Vegas is involved.
Yeah, but let's not take away from Cincinnati. I think they've earned their positions there, and they have, again, it's all about momentum to me, and who's more marketable, and he's a face. I do go back and forth and think that Mr. Detroit man is deserving of it, right? But I'm going to Cincinnati all the way. I think it's going to be a tight one. I'm just looking for a great game and good company during the Super Bowl.
Look, man, if this game, if these playoffs have been any indication of what this game is going to be,
I hope it goes down to a field goal at the end.
I hope we have like 7 overtimes, and they're like, you can't do that, but like, it's the Super Bowl. You do whatever you want.
You guys think eventually they're going to change that rule, that overtime after this year?
I would love to. I would love
Man.
to.
Let me
I
tell
would
you
love
what.
to.
You know who else would love to? The entire city of Buffalo. Because oh shit, Josh Allen just sat there like,
Yeah.
why'd you kick my puppy dog? I like that dog. You just kicked him right in the gut, and now he kicked me in the gut, and now I hate
You know who I felt more for was the parents, because they kept showing them.
Man, fuck those parents.
You know what I'm
They're
saying?
Professionals. Like I'm
It
a
was
parent.
bad.
Okay, too bad. So
Right.
sad. You're a third-year player, fourth-year player. You'll be all right. But it brings me right back to the talent at quarterback
Yes.
that the AFC currently has. And I think when we look at a team like the Bengals, they are in a prime position to go ahead and run roughshod over that division for the next couple of years, because you got Ben out the door. The Browns are just doing things that Browns do. They got all that.
Yeah,
talent.
they have runs.
They got all that talent, and I mean, like, you can never take the Browns to the Super Bowl. So I mean, that's the biggest issue with them. They're a quarterback away, if you want to believe that Baker Mayfield is not.
Did you see
the
there was
answer.
rumors that the Browns and the Vikings are going to swap quarterbacks?
I mean,
would that really help? I think they're pretty much the same quarterback.
Not me. I think Kirk Cousins is more talented than Baker Mayfield. Yeah. You like that? Yeah, I do like that. That's what it is. Oh yeah, man. Z, what do you think is going to happen in this game, man?
I think it's going to go down to the last minute. I hope it's a nail biter. I hope that the Bengals win. Yes, I'm going to cheer for an Ohio team. Wow. I know. But I mean, the kid's a winner. The kid is just a winner, and you just cannot root against him. And again, just like Danny was talking about, like, yeah, you're cheering for the old man to get his final hurrah, because he's not going to be in the league much longer. Right. And he's a stud. He's got an arm, and you've seen him suffer and put his time in, and you want to see him win too. But I also think, like, you know what? You kind of you're trying to buy your championship by getting all these players.
Yes, but no, because look, I think you are probably on point with Stafford. It's probably his last chance for romance to go ahead and win a Super Bowl. But I mean, yes, you traded for Von Miller, but you gave up your draft capital to do it. So it's not like you just paid him more than other teams did.
Which you can't do.
But you also made smart moves, because don't forget Leonard Floyd from the Chicago Bears, who everyone wanted to shit out, and everyone says, "Oh, he was lazy, he was this and that." Let me tell you something about Leonard Floyd. He was light when he came into the league, and when he started working out, he broke his hand. So he was actually gone for a good portion of that training camp, and I want to say his second season. And when he did come back, he had that big ass club, and a skinny guy with no leverage and on one hand is not going to be able to do the job that you want him to do at that position. So now he goes over on a prove-it deal to the LA Rams after he ran out of his rookie contract with the Bears. He proved himself in his first season over there. Is that coaching, or is that the player finally developing? It's probably both. It's probably both. So now you look at him over there. He's been killing it with the Rams after he did have a very good rookie season over here in Chicago. And look, I mean, you look at that defense right now, and that is a killer defense, because you don't forget like how good their secondary is. You also have Jalen Ramsey on that team right
that's
there.
what I was going to get to,
That's the thing, is that
that is going to be the matchup of the night.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that matchup. I mean, whoever he's going to go up against too. And another key matchup to look for is when Rams receiver Cooper Kupp is going to go up against the Bengals quarterback Mike Hilton. I mean, the thing is that when they're in man coverage, Hilton is going to be covering Kupp in the slot, and we all know
Eli Apple.
Well, Eli Apple, don't really worry about him. He only speaks up when they have success. You don't hear from him when they don't do well. So I don't want to hear from guys like that. But yeah, man. I mean, like, I think a big part of it is that Sean McVay, being a young guy, not enough experience in the league, not enough experience as a coach, as a head coach. He kind of gets in his own way sometimes. He calls some weird timeouts and he puts them in weird positions. That would be my biggest concern, because I feel like that might have been what happened with them when they lost a couple years ago to Brady's last Super Bowl over there in the Patriots. So, look, I mean, I still think I'm gonna go with the Bengals, man. I think right now we're doing a clean sweep, 3 for 3 with the Bengals right now.
Bengals?
Bengals all the way. Excuse me, gentlemen. Bengals all the way.
Yeah.
Bengals all the way. All right.
Yeah, I mean, I never ever thought in my life I would say that, but I mean, just like I said, going from the Bayou Bengals to the Cincinnati Bengals, I think Joe Burrow is just a natural winner, and I think a lot of times when you have such a collaboration of talent that come over from different teams, yes, it's nice to see them together, but it very rarely works out. Tampa Bay last year being the other land of misfit toys with Leonard Fournette and JPP and Sue and Tom Brady and Gronkowski coming over and Antonio Brown, who just flamed out, and all this shit. This is not as cohesive as people might want to think. And like I said, Stafford cannot be trusted in the fourth quarter. He will damn you guarantee you a fucking terrible interception or some weird fumble where he looks like he has it all under control, and he's gonna piss down his leg. And that's the way I think. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen, that's the bottom line.
And that's the bottom line.
All right, fans, we'll be right back after a word from our sponsor.
We all know that 2020 was no joke, and with an ever-changing world climate, many people are looking for a new opportunity. Guys, are you looking for a career that rewards effort and makes you feel valued as a team member? Let me tell you a little about our friends at ACSI. ACSI is a certified RCN business agent. They provide the same RCN services with a personalized touch. Their sales and technician teams work hand in hand, ensuring your experience will be smooth and pleasant. Gone are the days of being transferred from one person to the next. At ACSI, they handle everything from start to finish. It's never been so easy to get internet service. ACSI is a growing Chicagoland company that encourages personal growth and rewards perseverance. As they expand, they're looking for passionate, responsible, and honest professionals to join their team. A career with ACSI means you'll be part of a hardworking, flexible, and dynamic team that is a leader in the installation of cable and internet services in the Chicagoland area. Best of all, ACSI was awarded Hacia's 2020 Contractor of the Year Award. Are you ready to grow with a local Chicago company on the rise? Check out acsi.tech and click on careers to get started. That's acsi.tech and click on careers.
Welcome back to the True Chicago Sports Fans Podcast with E-Rock and Big Z.
Oh, yeah.
It's that time again, brother.
Uh-oh.
You know what time it is.
Oh, boy.
It's time for Stirring a Pot. All right, brother, what do you got for us this week, man? What disgusting thing are you going to shoot up our arms?
All right, fellas. I don't know about all that shit right there. I don't know, what is this, Pulp Fiction? Anyway, so we're going to go back. We're going to go way back in time. And we're going to talk about some of these stadium foods that we introduced a couple weeks ago. I talked about that terrible-looking fucking taco.
Oh, man.
I'm
going to make those tacos. I'm going to make those tacos. Fuck that. The hot Cheeto tacos, fucking run it.
Hot, yeah, you're going to get the runs is what's going to happen to you. So
Don't judge me.
Yeah, I'm not going to judge you, but I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to put some sandpaper on the toilet paper and see how
No,
you
two-ply, baby. Two-ply.
I got the TP in there that says, oh, shit, you're 40.
Yeah, I saw that.
Anyway, so today's food comes from Chiefs Nation, Chiefs Kingdom over there in Kansas City. This is called the Kingdom Inferno Chicken Sandwich, and it's available at Arrowhead. This chicken tender sandwich is topped with a mayo made with the hottest pepper known to man, the Carolina Reaper, plus pepper jack cheese, sliced jalapenos, and buffalo sauce. Turn the heat all the way up. Danny, are you about to destroy your butthole with this creation? All right, here, I'll get you a picture of that.
That's definitely a heartburn for sure right there.
That's a heartburn and a fart burn.
You're going to taste that on the way down and out.
I mean, it's chicken, right? What's it made out of?
Two chicken tenders.
So we'll do another rundown. Chicken tender sandwich topped with mayo made with the hottest pepper known to man, the Carolina Reaper, plus pepper jack cheese, sliced jalapenos, and buffalo sauce.
No, I mean, I used to eat that stuff back in the day, man, and now that get a little older, you can't digest that stuff. Man. You're gonna be hitting Tums for a week.
All right. So let's get rid of that. Let's say your stomach can handle it. Would you eat this?
I think I would, but I mean, the hot sauce, that ghost pepper, that stuff's not for me, man. You can pass off some stuff like that.
So that's a no.
Yeah,
that's what you're telling me. That's a no. It's either a yes or no. This ain't
all right,
no.
I'm gonna have to say no, man.
Oh, all right, Z, with your fucking shitty hot Cheetos. What you got?
I'm gonna stick with my hot Cheeto taco because fuck no, I'm not fucking with any Carolina ghost pepper nothing. No fucking way. That's the nope. Not doing that with that.
Okay. So let me tell you what.
Oh boy. I'm gonna watch you eat this motherfucker, aren't I?
No, the fuck you are not, because I am not crazy. I am not a crazy person. I think I have proved over time and time again on this show that I am not a
get the
crazy
fuck
person.
out of here.
I'm not a crazy person, so why the fuck would I eat this? This sounds like...
All right.
This is what I don't understand. How would anyone in their right mind go to a football game?
I was gonna say that. I was gonna say that.
I'm like, hey there, Mr. Kansas City Chief and Arrowhead. Can I have that sandwich there? Yeah, I am from Chicago. We like to eat our hot chips up there in Chicago and our Vintner's chips and our fucking disgusting
Jardinera.
Oh, I hate Jardinera. It's so
You
gross.
hate Jardinera?
It's fucking disgusting.
Come on.
It's an oily garbage.
Oh my God.
Oily garbage
You gotta have a Jardinera pizza, man, with the roast beef on it.
Fucking amazing.
Not for you, huh?
Not for you. That's all right. We can go to eat after this.
We take it down.
Yeah,
We'll take it
You guys can hold hands and then
fuck it. I'll hold hands. Love is love, bro.
and you can
100% right.
and you can hold each other's hair back when you fucking throw up from this nasty
No,
shit.
not enough of the Jardinera pizza. That's amazing.
It's disgusting. Jardinera, you never saw the Jardinera that I saw in the fucking big fucking 5-gallon drum in the back of Susie's drive-thru. Yeah, I said it.
Oh,
yeah, I said it.
I don't know what you did in the back of the drive-thru of Susie's or whatever.
No, it wasn't. No, no, thank you.
Okay,
I'm not eating this shit.
If-
I'm not eating this shit.
if-
And I'm not eating that shit either.
All right, if you could take one ingredient out to make it better, what would you do?
If I had to take one out,
Just take one ingredient out.
I mean, it's gonna be the fucking pepper that tells you you're gonna turn into a ghost. What the fuck am I gonna call Egon and shit to help me out with the sandwich? What the fuck, ghost? There's anything that says ghost means ghost is dead. That's what dead people do. They turn into ghosts. I'm not
Oh my
eating
God.
something
You're
that's named
giving me
after dead people.
so much good content to fucking put sounds in this
Are you
motherfucker.
serious right now?
No, I agree with you that you got to take out the ghost pepper. I think the pickled jalapenos is fine. The buffalo sauce is fine. Maybe what's that aioli you use upstairs? The Chipotle, the Chipotle one.
Yeah.
I'd substitute that.
Yeah.
I would substitute the Chipotle stuff instead of
I
the.
would substitute this sandwich for a beer. That's what I'll do. I'll do that instead. Because I just don't understand how.
Would it be a Busch Light?
No.
And the Bushman.
No, the Bushman.
Yeah,
The Bushman.
$3.
Yeah. You want to talk about Bushman entertainment? You don't be entertaining is watching your fucking face blow steam.
So I'm asking. My biggest thing is like, do they serve this at the toilet that you'll be sitting at?
That's what I only.
Because you're not gonna have a seat.
How do you go to a stadium and be like, yes, can I have that thing that's gonna burn my fucking throat to my asshole and all the way through from one end to the other?
I'm here. Hey, no, I'm here for the colonoscopy.
Pretty much.
No cameras, please. I'd like those chicken tenders, thank you.
It'll run right through my system. No worries,
Hell,
dog.
yeah, with fucking Nikes on. Are you serious?
Speedy Gonzalez.
Pew, pew, pew. Get out of here, bro. All right, Z, before we go, what you looking at? What are you watching that isn't sports?
Dude, I had a lot of time this week to watch some stuff. First show I literally binged. It's a great fucking show with Jeremy Renner on Paramount Network. It's called Mayor of Kingstown. It is an amazing show, well written, tons of action. So it pretty much takes place in a city in Michigan, and literally there's so many prisons up there that it's pretty much a city for prisons. So no one's really making any money if you're not in prison and you're not associated with that. But Jeremy Renner is a former convict that is out, and now he's on the in the middle, in between the convicts and between the cops. And his brother is a cop, and so forth. And it's just a great story. You see him interact with the prison, with the gangbangers and the cops. So well written. That's a must see TV show.
How's his archery in the show?
Amazing. On point.
The wink at the end is what did it for me. That was the cherry on top, man. Oh my god!
Have you seen, guys? Have you seen this?
I am not. No, I mean,
Danny doesn't have time to see shows.
No, man. I just keep on my phone all the time watching TikToks. I think all day.
That'll get you in trouble, ladies and gentlemen.
You should. You know it. You know it.
That's what happens when you're 14 instead of 41. That's what. No, I mean it sounds like a good show. It sounds like a better show than most of the shit you try to get me to watch.
Yeah, speaking of shit that gets you to watch.
Oh, no.
Oh yeah. Giganto gave me his login, so guess what? I've been watching.
So you've been watching his list?
No. He's watching, but he watches a shitload of wrestling, and I can't watch that much wrestling. I need some time apart from wrestling. I've been catching up on the Jersey Shore family vacation.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Now we're talking.
Fist pumps, baby.
Now we're talking.
I need that sound effect of a door slamming. Because that's either me leaving or you getting kicked out.
Eddie's really like SpongeBob, putting his hands on his chair like, yeah, I'm out.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking right now.
Nah, dude, I don't have any drama in my life, but I love watching other people's fucking drama on TV. This is legit a drama-filled show, and guess what? It's funny as hell. Funniest part of this season is Vinny doing a roast of the entire cast.
Oh, wow.
And he fucking killed it. He was funny as fuck. Man. Roasting the shit out of everybody.
Danny, please tell me you never watched Jersey Shore.
Of course he did.
Oh man, I'm a reality TV enthusiast. Man.
Oh no, get out of here!
Oh man,
you set me up.
I go back to the real world, to the Road Rules days. I mean, I would come home from school at 3:00 and watch MTV all day, man. That'd be my thing. So. Fast forward to now, that's been my inspiration to the Bushman Entertainment. Obviously, real world, real reality TV, man. Can't get enough, right, Big Z?
No, I can't get enough. I can't wait till next week's episode, man.
So, you know the reality TV shows that I watch are like essentially game shows.
Okay.
And I don't mean like Ellen's Game of Games. I mean like the fucking the glass blowing competition, the fucking the welders, the ones that make fucking swords and shit, and the cooking shows. Those are technically reality TV show, but they're just an elevated version of a game show. Yeah. And I grew up watching so many damn game shows and just kind of see the elevation of it. That's the reality TV I'm watching. I'm not trying to watch people just like, hey guys, let's go to the store. Okay. And then they go to this fucking store. I don't want to watch that shit. You know what I could do if I want to watch people go to the store?
Go to the store.
Go to the fucking store. What is wrong with you, man?
Moving on.
He just made us look bad on that, right? We have no comment.
Fuck that.
You're right, Eddie. You're right. We're losers, man.
There it is.
We're losers, man.
Hey, man, we're cutting you off that water. We're cutting you off the water.
I hope you recorded that.
No. Jersey Shore is fucking awesome. Moving on. I did watch a couple of smart things to watch. One was the Bill Cosby documentary on Showtime. We have to talk about Bill Cosby. That's the name of the show. It is interesting, is what I'm going to say, because I didn't know a lot about Bill Cosby prior to him being on the Bill Cosby show. I knew he was a comic. I didn't know how fast he rose to fandom. I didn't know that he was on TV shows and movies.
He was on Spy. He was on the Bill Cosby show.
Right. Well, you're the nerd when it comes to comics.
Yeah. I'm the nerd when it comes to like old school TV.
Right.
There's a reason why I know like all the anchors from Channel 5. That's
Jesus.
True.
Okay, shaking my head. I watched 2.5 episodes and I had to turn it off. At the 2.5 episode mark, it starts getting into the interviews of people that were raped by him and the stories and how it just. He literally was talking about how to rape women, giving a recipe in his comedy shows, on his record, the Spanish Fly, and how to put that. So you have the accounts of the females and like not remembering, pretty much getting roofied, and then going to this. And at that point, I could not watch and I turn off. If you're a documentary buff or someone that wants to know everything about Bill Cosby, go ahead. This is where I draw the line and I stop there, and I'm not going to watch the rest.
You know. There's a couple of times where I was just so heartbroken when it was discovered or it came out that, you know, these guys were scumbags, and Bill Cosby was 100% one of them. Because growing up where I grew up, being, you know, at my pops from Jamaica, and just seeing someone with darker skin when I didn't see my other friends have dark, you know, parents have dark skin like that, and just not knowing where I fit in. I mean, I see a successful
black man on TV. You know, he's a doctor. His wife is a lawyer. All the kids' emphasis is about going to college and just getting educated and being good people and being good to yourselves and your friends and treating people with respect. And it always seems, you know, we always refer to him as America's dad because he was the one that kind of put you on that right moral path. And then we come to find out that all the foul shit that he's been doing over the years. And don't get me wrong, I still have his comedy records. I don't listen to them. They're part of my collection. They're part of my childhood. It's part of my life. But I don't actively seek out what, you know, his comedy or his content. And it's sad because, you know, you are correct going back through the fact that he went through I Spy and he went through his own it's called the Bill Cosby Show, when he was actually a PE teacher in the show.
Yes.
You know, and I watched that. I have the DVD first season somewhere. So I mean, he had a very long, very prolific career as a comedian. I mean, to the point where when Richard Pryor first came out, he modeled himself after Bill Cosby because he was the one out there, the one African American comic that was getting more attention from white folks.
And he was on the comic scene, and he wasn't vulgar.
He wasn't offensive,
right? And that's why he was getting booked so much, and that's why he got the biggest push, and he got put on all the shows
because he didn't offend white.
Because folks. He didn't offend white folks, and he didn't talk about the black struggle that was going on at the time, and he didn't make white folks uncomfortable at all.
He tried to find funny situations where it's relatable, and that's why he rose to fame so quickly. But I mean,
right,
Danny, I mean, what is your memory of Bill Cosby as a kid?
You know, the Fat Albert cartoons.
Fat Albert, shit.
Yeah, that was the other one.
Picture Pages.
Yeah.
Electric Company.
Right.
Yeah. You know, he was an inspiration. I loved, Dr. Huxtable and all the shows that he did. He had that funny face, and he made people feel good. I think you came home and you watched the show. He was almost a father figure that everybody wanted on the show, right? So you kind of looked up to him, and you related to him because he would always discipline his kids. There was a message to the show, and you held him to high regard. So it's disappointing to kind of hear that stuff. You know, I question as to why. Always asking why. A man of power. He has a beautiful wife, and his wife still stands behind him, right? And,
yeah.
How do you see past that? So, God bless him, and he's got some inner demons that he'll have to answer to, you know, sooner or later, right? If not here on Earth, somewhere else.
And as of right now, he's out of prison.
Yeah,
he's
just got out
right now.
Right.
So.
But all in all, I mean, it's similar to me. I relate to him like R. Kelly and some of these other idols that we had as kids. We understand as adults that, you know, we're not perfect, but there's these demons, right? There's these demons that people have, and unfortunately, that our idols are not perfect, right? And then it's no excuse for doing that. And I would have done the same. You know, I would have shut it down. I did see some of it though, Big Z, but I didn't get to that part, and I'm glad I didn't, because it would have been upsetting for sure.
No, it was very upsetting. I just had to turn it off. And then after I turned it off, I went over to Amazon Prime. Look at that segue.
Oh,
that's right.
Man.
And I started watching. Yeah, that's crispy. And I started watching Ben Affleck in The Tender Bar.
The Tender Bar?
Yeah.
Hey, Z, what's that?
Thank you. Thank you for asking.
Nice.
The Tender Bar is about the journey of a young single mom and her child having to move back into her family's home because her husband's a deadbeat radio disc jockey, and her brother is Ben Affleck, and he tenders bar.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, see that? Yes. It was a letdown, really. I thought the story could have done so much more. Yet Christopher Lloyd as well playing the grandfather. He was hilarious because he's over there farting on the couch, like he gives no fucks. Right. The context. I mean, everyone loves a fart joke.
And yeah.
But it's a good story, and it shows them that, you know, they're poor, and they're trying to get him to go to a good college and so forth. And it's an uprising of a kid in our situation that we faced, right? We didn't have money. Yeah. Some of us didn't have two parents. Some of us had, you know, bad homes where we came in, and some of us still prevailed and did something with our lives. So that's the story of the movie. It's an okay movie. I give it a C-.
It's a movie or a show?
It's a movie.
Yeah.
So that's kind of your thing. You know, we want to get it in 2 hours and get out, right?
Yeah. You know, I mean, you know, hey,
that's what she said.
Okay. You know what always bothers me is that, you know,
Everyone always loves fart jokes.
Yeah.
But no one loves a fart.
Hey, man, that was my tag name back in the day, Fart Rock Warner, bro. So easy on that.
Oh, hey. So maybe
That's because you were having that Carolina Reaper shit.
I used to eat a lot of hot chips, too, back in the day. Them Cheeto chips.
Woo!
Weren't so good.
You're nasty. That's all I got to say.
Went through a lot of underwear. What you been watching, bro?
Bro, all right, let me tell you about this thing that I've been watching. It is
Oh,
called...
boy.
Oh, I got to take a deep breath. Take it up. It's called The Woman in the House Across the Street from the Girl in the Window. Yes.
Jesus.
Yes.
That could have been cut short a long time ago.
No, because it's called The Woman in the House Across the Street from the Girl in the Window. And let me tell you what the premise of the show is, in case you have not heard about this.
All right, IMBD.
A heartbroken woman named Anna is unsure of whether or not she witnessed a murder due to her almost daily habit of pairing medicines prescribed by her therapist, assumed to be antidepressants, and another word that I can't say, with excessive amounts of red wine. She often has hallucinations and suffers from a crippling fear of the rain.
What the fuck?
Yeah, watch it. Anna is also ostracized by members of her community, including her new neighbors, and labeled as crazy by the police. Regardless of whether or not she saw what she saw, Anna takes it upon herself to find the truth. This has Kristen Bell and Kristen Bell and a lot of other people. The one main character in Barbershop, whose name I can never remember.
Cube?
No, Eve's boyfriend in the show.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean,
that guy.
I'm watching this show and I'm just like, what in the entire fuck, the whole fuck of fucks, what is happening right now? And it was a lot of me just kind of staring at the screen in disbelief. And I mean, it is more of a parody. It's very campy. There's a lot of weird shit going on here, but I mean, I enjoyed it. It's a half-hour show, which, as you know, is perfect for me. I was able to get in, get out, watch a whole 8-episode series in one night, and I mean, it was interesting, and I would recommend watching it just for the parody of it. It was just it was something else, man.
I mean, I guess I'll put it on the queue. I mean, for my Super Bowl weekend, since we won't be recording.
Since you're not allowed here if you bring them damn tacos to my house.
I'm bringing them tacos.
Oh. Let me tell you what else I watched. Let me tell you what the fuck else I watched, okay?
Oh, boy.
I think I finally figured out the real reason that Sean Payton retired from the Saints.
You watched that movie?
And that is because I saw the movie Home Team with fucking Kevin, with the big fat kid.
Paul Blart.
Yeah, Paul Blart. Okay, let me explain something to you. That was a fucking terrible movie. That was the worst thing I ever.
I could have told you that if I watched it.
Oh my god! Well, I'm sitting here. Let me tell you something. I'm sitting here editing, working on some Photoshop work right here, and I says, let me put this thing on, and I'm watching it, and as I'm watching, I'm like, it all makes sense now. It all makes sense. I know exactly why he retired. He was like, nope, I can't. He's in the movie. Of course, he's in the movie. This was one of the hottest pieces of garbage to come out of this world since a fucking New York sidewalk in July, okay? That's how bad this movie was. I think we really, really found out why. I mean, I think Drew Brees might have heard about this movie and retired in anticipation of not wanting to be associated with the Saints when this shit came out, because it was so...
That looks like hot garbage.
So bad. Now... I would recommend you watch it so you know what the fuck I'm talking about.
No.
Mainly because you're a sports fan, and mainly because what do I always tell you? You don't talk shit about something that you've never seen or you don't know the truth about. Watch it for yourself.
I'd rather watch the other movie on the other quarterback.
What? Oh, that one looks fucking terrible too. You talking about the Kurt Warner movie? Holy crap! How did they make Shazam look so terrible? That looks like that looks like the hottest piece of garbage on a New York sidewalk.
Oh boy, someone's got a new saying.
In August.
That's
a little bit hotter. No, that one looks really bad. That one looks terrible. But I'm gonna tell you what, Sean Payton, I would be ashamed of this. I don't know what made you think that this was okay, because it is not, sir. Yeah, please stop. You got to watch this, man. I'm gonna put it on for the Super Bowl.
Pregame.
Yeah, pregame, brother. Pregame. We're not watching the Puppy Bowl this year.
What? I got my money on a Cocker Spaniel.
Oh, sure you do. I think you just wanted to say Cocker Spaniel.
And that's why we're not even a PG show anymore.
No. You just wanted to say it.
Yeah.
Oh man, Danny, please tell me you have not seen this movie because this shit is terrible.
You're talking about the Sean Payton story?
Holy shit!
Who's the main actor on that? That was I forget.
What is his name? Kevin Adam Sandler's friend.
The big guy, right?
Yeah, what the hell? See, he's so unforgettable. He's so James.
Kevin James, the King of Queens.
Paul Bart, Officer Paul Bart.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. I was starting to watch the show, and then it was at first I thought it was like a Saturday Night Live skit. I'm like, why?
That would have been funnier.
Like, why they pick that guy to play him, right? But I don't quite understand the whole controversy, but I know that they were accusing him of, what was it, cheating or something? Or what was he doing?
Yeah, so back in the day, there was a pay-to-play scandal where it was a, what do they call it, defense? I don't know what the hell it was, but basically they were paying defensive players to
take out people's heads.
Take out people, another team. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was defensive coordinator, yeah.
So it's the whole it's the whole
and then he
story
got
about
hired
him.
and then he got hired in the Jets.
Yeah.
So intentionally hurting people is what the mission was?
Yes.
Really?
But it was the defensive coordinator that set it up, and basically it got Sean Payton suspended for a year.
That's rotten, man. That's some shady stuff.
On some Alvin Kamara arrested by Las Vegas police after the Pro Bowl.
There you go.
That's some breaking news. Speaking of the Saints, how convenient. Thank you.
How you gonna get fired on your day off, bro?
That's bad.
Oh, wow. Look, hey, this is bad though. Police statement says he was arrested for something that caused substantial bodily harm. So, shit, that's bad.
Yeah.
I hope he's okay.
That franchise is falling apart.
Hey, that's because they got Paul Fart to do their coaches thing.
Have you seen the Book of Boba Fett yet?
No.
Dude.
No.
Dude, it is awesome. This last episode.
I read a book about Boba Tea. There you go.
There we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's try to get out of here.
Danny,
yes.
I want to thank you again for being on the show. Thank you for your friendship and your sponsorship and being such a big part of the show. Why don't you tell us about what you got going on, man?
So, hey, thank you guys. I had a blast, man. We've been here the whole day, and it seems like 5 minutes. To be honest, I had a lot of fun with you guys. You got to make a show of all these collectibles you got, Eddie. I mean, honestly, I want to come back and look at everything and maybe, listen to your story on each and every one of these things. How long do you think it'll take us? Maybe a couple years?
That's going to be like, the something Roadhouse show, whatever it is?
Yeah, bro, you better bring your Q-tips. And the worst part is anyone listening to the show or has listened to the show ever knows that I have not hesitant with the words. So I do have a story for every piece in here.
No, as far as what we got going on, pretty much is employment, right? So we're in the telecommunications business. And appreciate it again. Thank you for allowing the message to be heard every show, and you do a good job of marketing that. And we're here to provide opportunity. We're teaching all things telecom, and we have a roadmap to open a non-for-profit to really get people certified and free of cost, and then transition to employment. Along that side, we also had ventured off a passion project, Bushman Entertainment, who were sponsoring local artists, those who can't afford, and being on record labels, and the whole thing with that, right? The whole political thing with that. Yeah. So it's been just a great venture over 20 years of experience, and changing something to entertainment in a broader sense, promoting comics or whoever wants to be part of that entertainment. We're here to kind of sponsor that. Solar initiative, we're soon going to be going into that, install solar panels, and all under the same branch of ACSI. So you guys can inquire. Eddie, you always do a good job of giving our website. We're always open 24 hours a day. We do sales. If it's not physical work, there's a lot of opportunity, and we'll find a place for you. You don't need any experience. We just need you to show up and have a great attitude about yourself. And we're open. We're an equal opportunity employer, and all ages are welcome within the law, right? Yep. And we're here for you guys. So thanks again for having me.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like you got a lot of different ventures going on right there. And, we're always glad to be a part of what ACSI is going on. And it's really cool to see what you're doing, bringing in some younger guys, some older guys, whoever out there is looking for a change in their career, looking for on-the-job training, and looking for a way to kind of develop their skill set so they can go on, and whether they stay at ACSI with the training program and they continue to be a technician there, or at least you have the skill set
mindset and knowledge to go ahead and go back out into the job field with more training. Because I'll tell you what, there's a lot of people out there taking up jobs that just do not have the qualifications, and they just do it because they need a body there.
Yeah,
that's really what it comes down to. A lot of times is that these guys just get jobs because they need somebody, and that unfortunately sometimes when they don't have the proper training, that it actually reflects poorly on the company itself. So, it sounds like you're doing a very valuable service for these people that are looking for employment. And, it looks like you're doing a lot of big things with Bushman Entertainment and your kind of movement with the NFTs and the crypto and all that stuff, which I have no idea what.
I'm like, yeah, let's do this. And Eddie's like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
And that's the purpose of the non-for-profit, is to teach that. And it's not going to be for every generation, right? And I think just like anything else, if you remember the days when you had to pay for cable and you're like, why do I have to pay to watch TV? Well, that's kind of the same technology that's coming. I think once you learn it and understand it, you'll find yourself into it. It's going to be inevitable, maybe not for our generation, but our kids coming and their kids. Also, we have a festival that we promoted called Mas Flow, and within that festival, reggaeton festival coming. So I encourage everybody to show the support for local artists. If I can say, we're promoting a couple artists. El Green Goblin has an album coming out, and I told them that I'll be on this forum, and one day maybe we can come and interview them on a different platform. So a lot of different adventures, and again, we're here for you guys at ACSI. We will continue to sponsor you guys. You two gentlemen have been doing a phenomenal job, and we're looking for another year of sponsorship and how we can grow together.
So, thank you.
Yeah, of course. Like full disclosure, Danny and I have known each other forever and ever. So it's always, and we really like to incorporate our friends that are have businesses or are just doing things in the community. We always like to talk to them first. It's like, hey, this is what we got going on. We would love for you to be a part of it. Let's collaborate. Let's get together. Let's work together. Let's do business. Because sometimes you can reach out to people 1,000 times, but sometimes you need to have someone that in your corner and to cover your back. So it's been really great to work with your company and work with your crew and promote your job fairs and things like that when you got going up. And whenever you guys got the next job fair, we make sure we'll let everyone know. And like I said, you can always go to acsi.tech, check out the career section, go get you a job like Z always tells you.
That's right.
Week.
Do it.
Get you a job.
Hey. A lot of people have come through there and done some really cool things. So, once again, we appreciate.
Hey, Georgie got a job.
Georgie, yeah. Our
that's you guys, huh?
Very own Jay Soto came through and got himself a new gig, and I'm super proud of him for
Yeah, he's doing an excellent job.
It's awesome, man. Yes. So again, thank you so much for being here, and hey. how you guys feel, man? You ready to get out of here?
It's time to get out of here, man.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Absolutely.
Let's go get that Giardiniera pizza, man.
Let's do it.
All right, y'all. That is it for today. Thank you so much for listening. A big thank you to our sponsors, 606 Media, True Chicago Sports Fans, ACSI, and Grit Clothing Company. Don't forget to go to gritclothingco.com and get your official TCSF podcast t-shirt. Search for keyword True Chicago and use our promo code TrueFan15 at checkout for 15% off of your entire order. That is TrueFan15. Go and get your shirts right now. And don't forget to visit our guy Danny and his friends over at acsi.tech and check out their career sections to start an exciting new career in the communication industry. Go to acsi.tech. That's acsi.tech and click on careers to apply today, and go into your Google machine and check out Bushman Entertainment. He's got a lot of stuff going on there. Check him out on all social media platforms. Of course, shout out to our friends at the Some of This and Some of That podcast with Coach Mo and Just These. Great contact sports, movies, relationship content. So check them out. They're available on your favorite streaming service. And also don't forget to check out the Shy Native Radio podcast, now available on all major platforms. Mike Logic, Ideal, and Throw MC talk about sports, movies, and all types of ill shit. You can also contact them if you want your music featured. Go and find them on social media, and they will play your shit and tell you if you're actually good or not. So go ahead and check them out right now. And do not sleep, ladies and gentlemen. Mike Logic's new album, as I was saying, is now available. Check out mikelogic.bandcamp.com, MICLOGIK.bandcamp.com. Logic with the K is back. Go and get your copy right now. And the brand new music video for his single So Low is now available to watch on YouTube. Check them out. Shout out to our guys, Ronesh, Panic, Serious Beats, and custom made for the beats we play on today's show. Check out paniconthebeat.com for all your Mole Men merch and gear. And make sure you check out this absolutely fire collaboration from Serious Beats and Custom Made. Their new beat tape called Treasured Paintings is now available. Check out SeriousXBeats.com. That's Serious with the letter X and Beats.com. Let me tell y'all, my favorite track on this record is Burr versus Philly. It's got this cool 70s soul and funk vibe. I mean, I like Earth, Wind, and Fire, so it's right up my alley.
All right,
old school, baby. And to me, like, look, I love rap, but sometimes the beats is what really gets me going. So this is fire to me. So make sure you go and check that out, and don't forget to check us out on social media. You can find us at True Shy Fans on Twitter. That's at True CHI Fans on Twitter and on TikTok. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, and reach out to us. Hit the DMs with your Stirring the Pot recommendations, your movie recommendations, and just tell us what you think about the show. And don't forget, you can always hit us up at truechicagosportsfans@gmail.com. All right, y'all. For Big Z and my boy Danny, this is E-Rock. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
2 semanas.
2 weeks, baby. We're taking a break. It's Super Bowl time. Get the chili ready. And you better leave them Cheetos at home, man. Don't leave them Cheetos in the house.
Adios.
Until then, be good to each other.
For the love of sports.
We'll see you in 2 weeks, ladies and gentlemen.
Ghost pepper assholes.
Go sports.
A few moments later.
You have a lot of incest.
That's real. Shut your mouth.
Lover boy.
Nature versus nurture, Lodge. Nature always wins.
I think he's on steroids.
Hasta luego, amigos. That's all. I shouldn't have had those artichoke poppers.